Tell you who's smarter than you. Tell you who's smarter than you. Tell you who's smarter than you. Tell you who's smarter than you.
All right, happy Friday, everybody. On the Talk of Chicago, it's May 1st, is it? Yeah, this is May Day. So is this the day they were talking about? Of course. I'm asking as if I don't know. This was the day that Chicago Public Schools, or at least Chicago Teachers Union and Stacey Davis Gates, they were pushing to have the kids participate in a out-of-classroom May Day experience. I think some schools are taking them up on that offer. The union, I think, is going to provide. The compromise was, I guess, the schools and the teachers could decide whether or not they wanted to do it. And they were going to bring buses out. If you opted in, they would bring a bus. If not, hey, that's cool too. You do you. That's how the world goes, right? Annette, is your mic on? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Happy Friday.
I'm doing great.
What you see out there? Are people participating? I know you haven't been out in the streets. I'm not asking you the question like that.
Yeah, I know, but just kind of looking at, just my news gathering stuff. So I do see stuff, and yeah, they're out there in droves all across the country. There are so many different varieties of events, from stuff for the planet, healthcare. So it's more than just, labor related, and it's very interesting. And in fact, Operation Push has a pretty big event right now. They're expecting like 800 kids, and they're doing this whole civic engagement piece, which is great.
I think, you know what, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's good for these kids to at least get, especially Black kids, to have the experience of going up to Operation Push, number one, and understanding why that institution is important to Black America. And especially in this moment where Reverend just passed away, we just lost Rev, and Yusef is up there he's about to carve out his own niche. You know what I'm saying? I think I see both sides of it, right? I see the education part where people don't want their kids to come out the classroom, and I see the activism part. You know what I mean? That it is a learning experience to be out of the classroom as well.
Exactly. And this thing is it gives you a purpose to do that. And, they're going to be learning about, things that Operation Push and, the late Reverend really worked towards. And that's voting, civil rights, community building, advocacy, and stuff like that. And we're just coming just days off of that U.S. Supreme Court ruling on voting rights. So it's very, very appropriate.
That is, man. And I think, the impact that's going to have on America, let alone Black America, of course, brown America as well. There needs to be more Black and brown activism, man. I'm going to say that, but that's a whole nother story. But that's what's happening. Is that the big story today? Anything else out there that I'm missing? Because I didn't watch the news today. So I'm cheating. I'm asking Annette to tell me what's going on in the world today, Annette. What did I miss?
Oh, that's great. I mean, I love that. That's what I'm here for. Another big story today, thousands of people could be losing their SNAP benefits.
Oh, that's right.
Huge, right?
That's right. Now, wait a minute. Isn't this a part of the story too? There are work requirements attached to it, right?
Right. So there's new work requirements and age requirements too.
Right. If you are not disabled, how do people feel about this? This is actually a good question. If you're not disabled, how you have to, I think, do something like 80 hours a month.
Volunteer. That is an option.
Yep. I saw this story. I was reading it actually last night. 80 hours, or you have to be able to prove that you are disabled or something like that, right? Or you're not physically able to do that.
And then they reduced the age. It was 65. Now it's 62. And, there's not very many 62-year-olds that can retire. And so imagine being 62, relying on SNAP benefits, and now you have no benefits. That's
I'm 62.
Dramatic.
I can take. I think I can take Social Security now. You can take Social Security early if you want. You don't get your full benefit, but you can tap into it if you want to. You guys don't have to worry about that yet. You're not my age yet. So when you get up there, all right, that's great. I forgot, but that's a good one. Oh, thanks. And see, that's a good one. I can go off the SNAP benefits. And today is the day where a lot of people, that's going to be a good question. I'm gonna ask this later on the show because I've got a guest coming in. But I think that's a good question. How do we feel about that now? Because I know Democrats are saying, "Hey, look at the Republicans. Their policies are going to knock people off of SNAP benefits." But is there some merit to you should be doing something for SNAP benefits? You know what I mean? That's a good question, don't you think? Right? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and also, Matt, you can add this piece too, because, and I'm not sure if they finalized this or not, but they were looking to limit the type of items you could buy with your SNAP benefits as well, like soda and cookies and things like that.
Old English.
Old English.
Things like that. All of that good stuff. All right. See, that's good. All right. So Monday, Annette, I'm not going to know what's going on either. So I'm going to ask you right at 12 o'clock what's going on in the world again.
That's fine.
It's going to be like, Annette's going to be like, why did I start doing this with him? Now every day he's relying on me to give him the news of the day.
But usually you listen on your way in, so we don't have to kind of do this exchange.
Well, no, you know what? Now, see, here's what's interesting, though. I actually know the stories but I tell people all the time about my ADHD. What you did was you just reminded me, like the SNAP benefit story I knew, right? And you just reminded me of it. I saw it last night. I was reading it last night while I was in bed, man. And I thought it was an interesting story, too, for the conversation today, because I think there are people on both sides of this argument. There are going to be people that say no, that this is going to knock off needy people from SNAP benefits. And then some people are going to say, and this is not necessarily along party lines. I am sure there are a lot of black people. There are a lot of black Americans who will say, hey, if you're getting SNAP, you're getting these benefits from it. Hey, you are of working age and able-bodied, and maybe you should be out there.
But
so
Matt,
it's not a bad argument.
Snowball effect. Even when the TSA was going through their struggles, some of those people had to rely on food pantries in order to survive. So just imagine losing your food benefits. People are going to need to rely on food pantries that are also struggling.
All right. Thank you, Annette Flournoy, for giving me some information to go with on the day. What time? It's 12:17. Let's take a break here, guys. We're rocking and rolling on a Friday, May Day. Of course, we're going to talk about that and the significance of it. Also, as Annette said, SNAP benefits. People are going to be knocked off today. Is that legit in your mind, or is this overreach? Is this an example of the Republican Party that's putting us out here? Hey, look, we went through this years ago, guys, with welfare reform, right? Remember, we went through this a long time ago when Newt Gingrich took over the House. And we went through, the whole changing of the rules, so to speak. Now I miss the good old days of food stamps, the actual physical food. I miss those good old days where you could buy food stamps off people in the alley, and then go into the grocery, then go into Jewel. Those are the good old days of surviving in America. Yo, what's up, bro? Hey, what's going on, man? Are you using cash? This is how the conversation goes down. Hey, you about to go in the store? Yeah. You using cash? How you paying for it? Yeah. Oh, man, dude. I tell you what, man, I give you $100 worth of stamps for 50. Man, I really will. Wait, hold on. What you say? No, I'm good, man. Wait, what'd you say? 100 for 50? Bingo transaction. And your boy Matt was in there. Matt, I didn't know you was on food stamps. I didn't either until a couple minutes ago. I am a food stamp recipient via the black market. I was in Jewel's putting them down, plucking them down. Okay, all right, let me corral the show back in. Anyway, 591-1690 is the Matt McGill Show. Get up on it, everybody.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This Saturday on Meeting the Moment, we're talking first response communications and why what happens inside your organization matters just as much as what you say to the public. Dr. Twin Green, President and CEO of the Lincoln Option Center, and Perry Ermer, President and CEO of the DuSable Black History Museum and Education Center, joined the conversation to break down how internal alignment shapes external messaging in critical moments. Tune in this Saturday at 12 noon for Meeting the Moment, powered by the Chicago Community Trust, right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's D.L. Hughley.
Nick Cannon's logic is as weak as his okay. Everybody fucking knew that Republicans freed the slaves. Everybody knew it. The last time he did something for black people was 163 years ago. You got to update your resume. Have a 5-year gap on your resume and see if it's valid. When Republicans did that, Hawaii wasn't a state. If you're going to talk about the greatest of a policy that helped black people out, it should at least be sometime after the fucking moon landing.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Protect your money and build your wealth. Sundays at 3 p.m. Host and owners of Top and Top Insurance Agency, Clydell and Betty Top, teach you about protecting your assets, 401ks, annuities, life after retirement, the differences and benefits of life insurance, and they take questions. Their advice can enhance your financial future and your legacy. Call for a free WVON financial consultation, 773-881-8110. Tune in Sundays at 3 p.m. to protect your money and build your wealth. Powered by Top and Top Insurance Agency. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
That's the way. KC and the Sunshine Band. Man, boy, let me tell you, Black America was loving them, this white boy, man. KC could jam, Jack. And he had the brothers in the band on the horns and stuff. Oh, man. This was my childhood here, 70s, man. KC and the Sunshine Band. Bringing it up. Man, I saw the funniest thing. Brother John Walker, what's happening, man? Get close to that microphone.
How's it going, brother?
Good, man. What you up to?
Listen, man, I'm excited to be here and
Just
at
hanging.
Abraxas and trying to just spread the message that we are providing quality care over there, and we're
Who's
here.
this guy you got in the studio with us,
So
man?
this is Shelton Colbert. He's the executive director at Abraxas Southwood, and he's an amazing brother.
It's from Pittsburgh. Or you were in Pittsburgh anyway, right?
Born and raised.
We were having some Pittsburgh conversation. Man, I gotta share this with everybody, man. I saw the funniest. This lady was walking down the street. I had to drop Mia's car off, and I took an Uber here to work. And I'm sitting in the car, man, and I'm looking at this lady walking down the street, and she had this bag that said, I hate mourning people, right? Like M-O-U-R. I hate mourning people.
Right.
and mornings and people.
Right. That's crazy. That's
I
crazy.
was like,
And
what?
you just start laughing.
Right. I'm in the car. I'm reading because the first part got me, right? I thought this was gonna be like an emotion.
Exactly.
I hate morning people.
Exactly.
And mornings and people. I was like, I gotta use that something,
Right.
man. I was like
So
thinking about myself and how I am in the morning.
Exactly.
5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly, my
and
brother.
everything that's going on. So our brother Sheldon's here from Pittsburgh.
Well, thank you for
coming into the city of Chicago, hanging out with a brass. How you like Chicago so far, man?
I love Chicago.
Is that right?
You know, big picture. I came here on a temporary assignment to just do some work at Southwood, but I fell in love with Chicago.
How long you been here?
I've been here 2 years in March.
Oh, okay, yeah, you've been here for me. Now, did you come straight from Pittsburgh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you born and raised in Pittsburgh?
Born and raised.
So that's interesting, man.
Small town outside of Pittsburgh.
Is that right?
The most famous person from that town is a gentleman by the name of Mike Dick. I think y'all might know him a little bit in Chicago.
Mercy.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Mike Ditka and my dad.
Is that right?
Grew up playing football
Get
together.
out of here.
Coach Ditka was very instrumental to us when we were kids. That's why we all became Bear fans. I've been a Bear fan since he became head coach, man.
Is that right?
Yeah. So loving Chicago.
That's
man.
a good connection, brother.
Hey,
yeah. You might get a free drink in some bars in Chicago.
Wait, hey Matt, and I pulled up and I noticed his license plates are Bears license plate. I'm like, why don't you have Steelers license plate? Now I see why. But he told me why he was a Bears fan.
Because Steeler Nation runs deep.
It runs deep.
They are, man. They travel. They are fanatical.
Absolutely.
But they got good reason to, man. That 1970s team they had, brother, you know, that would get you, brother. That would get you there, man. You know what? My brother went to Tennessee State University. And so we had this connection to Joe Gillen.
Okay.
And Jefferson Street Joe, who played for the Steelers, man, briefly, man. And, you know, one of the most talented young brothers, football play quarterback on earth. Terry Bradshaw even said it, man.
Really?
Terry Bradshaw says he beat me out, man.
Wow.
He was scared. Terry Bradshaw said he wanted to damn near get traded because he did not see that he was going to have a future with the Steelers as long as Joe Gillen was there.
As long as Joe Gillen. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a great segue into what we're here to talk about today. Unfortunately, Joe was one of, like so many Americans, who suffer from a substance use disorder. And it's really running rampant in our country. We have a substance use disorder problem, and all you have to do is look out across our country. You see that, you know,
well, it transcends age, race, gender, political ideology, you know, religious ideology, black background, ethnicity. Yeah, brother, we do, and it now, you know, we always say this, or I always say this, and I'm sure I got this from somebody else. Whenever there's a problem like that with America, it hits Black America worse, right? So let's say, you know, we got a substance abuse problem. America has a substance abuse. It hits Black America worse.
Exactly. And that's one of the things Sheldon is going to talk about too, because we're located in Inglewood, in West Inglewood. And so we service the whole Inglewood, not just the West Loop, but we just housed in West Inglewood. And Sheldon is going to talk about our program.
We're going to take a break. We're going to do the proper introduction.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right,
sir.
All right.
And all it is. I was still getting into his Pittsburgh stuff.
Yeah,
man.
let's do it. Let's talk about Pittsburgh. I love it, man. I'm up for a good conversation.
He's been here for 2 years. He's already Chicagoized, right?
Hey, if you want to talk about Western Pennsylvania football, we could talk forever.
I know, man.
Well, he played football in college.
Where'd you go to college?
And watch this now.
Right.
Darrell Revis?
Yeah.
Cousin.
What? Revis Island?
Revis Island.
What?
Ty Law?
Is that right?
All grew up on the same street together.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Ty Law was a beast too, man.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these people. Y'all
you don't know Ty? Oh, man.
Hey, most importantly, good
people. Is that
Darrell,
right?
good person.
But you know, so here's the thing, Sheldon. That's what I was kind of getting into, man. I'm curious about that part of America and Black people, right?
Okay.
Because I'm gonna be honest, when I think Pittsburgh, man, I think about a white city for the most part, right? You think Chicago, chocolate city. You think, when I was growing up in the 70s, we had this chocolate city thing, right? A Parliament Funkadelic, I think it was a song, and they were talking about, we got chocolate cities out there. And they're talking about like majority black cities like DC and Detroit and Atlanta, and Chicago to a degree is considered a chocolate. But Pittsburgh, you don't think that, right? You think Pittsburgh, you think a majority white city, right? So I'm always interested to like how black people live in these cities that are like that, though, brother. How black empowerment comes about. The one black person I know from Pittsburgh is a Republican, Lenny McAllister. And you see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to figure out, like what. But Anthony Bourdain did a segment of his show, Parts Unknown, on Pittsburgh, and he went to a black area that I think was in the suburb.
I seen that. I remember.
Remember that?
Yeah, and he was showing how it was parts of Pittsburgh that were being rebuilt up. And I seen a couple of restaurants that he visited. Yes, rest in peace to him.
Man,
well.
you never seen that, Shelton?
No, I've never
I'm gonna have
seen
you
that.
dig it up. You're gonna like it.
I've never seen that. But here's what I can tell you before, really quickly. If you ever seen the film or the play Ma Rainey.
Oh yeah, it's going. We got the play going on now. Harry Lennox,
Pittsburgh.
Is it really?
Hill District.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And I probably knew. I interviewed Harry Lennox maybe about a month ago about Ma Rainey, and maybe we did talk about that. I probably just forgot, man, because I'm old right now. Anyway, Sheldon Colbert in the studio, my brother John Walker.
Yes, sir.
Both with Abraxas Southwood Youth and Family Services in this moment, guys, where substance abuse impacts all of our lives and has. We all have had that experience, whether it's been a friend, a family member, somebody in our neighborhood. We just talking about Joe Gill.
Exactly.
This substance abuse has hit all of our lives, guys. The reality is it hits Black America worse. There are resources out there right in Inglewood, and we're going to talk about it when we return on the Matt McGill Show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cloudy and cooler today with temps in the 40s. I'm in Illinois, and here's what's happening. After packing up and shutting down 5 Southside Walgreens locations, Chicago Alderman Will Hall of the 6th Ward is planning to rally against the possible closure of another Walgreens at 86th and Cottage Grove. In an exclusive one-on-one with WVON's Cleopatra Draper, Alderman Hall says he plans to fight to make Walgreens accountable for what he calls corporate abandonment.
We're not begging them to stay. They want to leave, fine. What I am going to do is work diligently with landlords that will be responsible at this location to provide what's needed, which is health care.
He's staging a rally outside that Walgreens location at 87th and Cottage, 10 a.m. Monday, May 4th.
We're going to not only voice our disapproval and our disgust at this corporate abandonment, at that same spot will be the rallying call. I want innovators to show up. I want investors to show up, and I want seniors that are mad as hell that they won't be able to have access to health care to show up. This is a rallying call to move in a different direction.
He says he will demand that the company work with community leaders to repurpose the land. Well, today is May Day, and here in Chicago and throughout the country, people are participating at rallies to let their voices be heard on issues from fair wages to world peace. For the last several weeks, there had been a lot of confusion and back and forth between Chicago Teachers Union and CPS over whether public school students would get the day off to participate. And after reaching an agreement, classes are being held and students are able to take part in events such as the one happening at Rainbow Push headquarters, where hundreds of children are engaging in activities and learning about voting, civil rights, community building, and advocacy, which is a great learning moment just days after the U.S. Supreme Court ruling on the Voting Rights Act. Well, the man accused of gunning down Chicago police officer John Bartholomew and critically wounding another officer will remain in custody. Perry Williams reports.
A Cook County judge said that Alfonso Talley will stay behind bars because he's a public safety threat and a flight risk. The defendant's family claims he's innocent.
He's a family man. He loves people. He's around kids all the time. He's not no predator. He's not no monster.
Alderman Jim Gardner thinks different.
To hear the public defender have to argue on why we should let this individual out on our streets is despicable. It makes me want to throw up.
Meanwhile, a second person is being questioned in connection with the case. I'm Perry Williams.
And starting today, thousands of people in Illinois are at risk of losing federal food assistance. This is part of the new federal work requirements to qualify for SNAP. the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. The state of Illinois estimates that there are 120,000 people who could lose their benefits. Well, that's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. WVON News Time, 1234.
The Rufus Williams Show kicks off Health and Wellness Month on WVON with a conversation about rising healthcare costs. As well, we talk with Dr. Gloria J. Brown Marshall about Martyrs Day, which is happening on July 5th of this year. That's the Rufus Williams Show, 7 to 9 a.m. on WVON, the Talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there, WVON.
It's time to focus with Robert McKay. Quality conversation, protecting, preserving, and preparing our past, present, and future. Sunday evenings at 4 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, the Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church. Tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Get up off of that thing and dance to do better. Get up off of that thing and dance to do. Sing it now. Get up off of that thing and dance to do better. Get up off of that thing. Try to beat that pressure. Get up off of that thing and shake to do better. Get up off of that thing and shake to do. Say it now. Get up off of that thing and shake to do better. Get up off of that thing. Try to release that pressure. Get up off. Good God. So good. Everybody ready?
Is that James Brown? That is James Brown. Man, I saw the funniest picture of James Brown and Reverend Sharpton like coming out of the White House. This was like in the 70s, man. I think Nixon was president. It was so funny.
They just posted that
You
picture.
saw that picture,
Yeah,
didn't you?
they were walking. They were.
You
in the
see
front
that,
of-
man? Oh, man. I said, that is so funny. But, you know, Reverend Sharpton was he was James Brown's right hand, brother. That ain't no joke, man.
Rev been around.
Rev been around.
Rev been around.
Ain't no doubt about it, man. All right, in the studio, that was my brother John Walker, who's here, community engagement and marketing with Abraxas Southwood Youth and Family Services. Shelton Colbert's the executive director. From Pittsburgh. We had a little fun talking about Pittsburgh and being black and all that. But here's the real talk, man. When John reached out to me and said, hey, Matt, man, look, brother, we've got to let our people know that there are resources out here. Our people are suffering from substance abuse, and we're right here in Inglewood, and we need people to take advantage of these services or we're going to lose them. And that's the bottom line, man. I say that all the time. Government has resources. Sometimes they put on the table, you know, Our government, we have elected officials that fight for resources for the African-American community, right? Mm-hmm. They're in the halls of Washington or Springfield or the city council,
or
right?
City Hall.
And they will fight for the black community and resources, right? For whatever it is. And then we don't come out and take advantage of it. Exactly. And they're looking bad.
And that's why we want to make sure that people know that there are resources and help available through the services that we offer at Abraxas.
Give us some background on Abraxas, though, Brother Sheldon.
Okay, we've been in the community 20 plus years. The reality is I came here from Pittsburgh just on a temporary assignment. But when I got to Southwood and I got to know the Inglewood community, this became my passion because I look at it as an honor to be able to serve the people of Inglewood in West Inglewood, because the reality is the people in that community look like me. They look like my mom, my dad. They look like my brothers. Not to discount anyone else, but the reality is we need to make sure that people have access to care. Mm-hmm. And not only just care, but my mission, I wake up every day trying to ensure that the people who come to Southwood get some of the best care in the world.
Mhm.
We may not look like a Betty Ford or some of these other prestigious treatment facilities. We may just be a small hospital on the south side of Chicago. But I got a team of smart people around me that are dedicated. And we want to make sure that people who come to Southwood get the same type of services that you would get
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Anywhere.
What kind of services are we talking about? I know we say substance abuse, but let's get a little more detail. What are we talking about?
Well, Matt, we want to make sure that we're using the word substance use now.
Yep, substance use.
Substance
All right,
use.
yeah, cool. That's fine. That's
Substance
good.
use.
Good.
Right.
Substance use disorders.
Substance. All right, let me write this down now.
Substance.
Substance use. No, I'm all with the politically correct terminology because it's changing. It's changing, man.
Yes, a lot of terms.
And I get it, man.
Yes,
I get it.
Well, let me do this before I get into the specifics of Southwood. When I was making the decision to come out here and then being out here, one of the things that was really, really phenomenal and I found really attractive is the state government here and the support that they do give the Black community as well as the substance use disorder community. I remember a few months ago when Chicago was under siege by ICE and Governor Pritzker was on television. He was literally talking about the ICE stuff, but he was also talking about the people here. And from my experience working in several different states, Illinois is the tip of the spear for the substance use disorder epidemic that we're facing in America. Not only in the aspect of resources, but in the guidance that they give us as providers through their Administrative Rule 2060, some of the partnerships that they've built across different facilities in the state, the access to care, the commitment to access to care. Those are all wonderful things that our state government under the leadership of Governor Pritzker has filtered down to us as providers. And, sitting in my office on 5701 Wood Street, I feel that.
So I'm glad you're saying that, and I'm gonna tell you why, Brother Sheldon, because I criticize the governor a lot, right? But I'm always mindful that there's a lot I don't know that maybe he is engineering to our community and toward our community. And I want to be open to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm look, I want to be able to criticize and I want to be able to praise at the same time. And the moment you're talking about when the ICE stuff was going on, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I thought Governor Pritzker was at his best. He would, man, let me tell you, for everything that I have, and my listeners know, man, I have gone in on the governor, but man, in that moment, brother, in that moment, I was like, yo, get him, governor.
He stepped up.
Get him, governor. And I had to, say that, man, and be proud of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest here and say that he gave me chills one day listening to him.
Okay.
And because at that point, it's also grant writing time. And the federal government did some things that they rolled back some things, they added some things, they subtracted some things.
No, they targeted Black and brown communities, brother. You can
it was going to make it more difficult. And he stood up. And looked the camera straight in the eye.
Okay. All right.
And said what he said. And then I'm sitting at my desk days later and I see it in writing.
And I love to hear that.
You know what I mean?
Let's give him his credit.
So
coming from you to be looking at a brother in the eye and you saying it with the passion that you're saying it, I'm receiving it, brother.
You know what it reminds me of? The old skit on In Living Color when you couldn't say anything bad about Miss Jenkins.
All right. Hey, I hope the governor's people are listening because you are giving him a moment here on my show, which a lot of my listeners know I be going in on them, brother.
Hey, I try to be apolitical in my position,
right?
But to give credit where credit's due, when I'm able to sit behind my desk and I'm able to see something, then days later work with it.
That's impactful, brother.
It was impactful.
So here's why it's important you're saying what you're saying, though, brother, because I am a pro Black political class person, right? I'm a pro-Democratic Party person. I know you got to be apolitical, right? And I'm a pro-Democratic Party. And one of the conversations that we have on this show all the time is, what's the Democratic Party doing for us? And you to try to explain it the way I try to explain it, I'm always like, brother, you just have no idea because I've heard over the years, friends of mine that are I shouldn't even say friends, people that I know from doing this show that are state reps, state senators, that have worked in the state government, that have said things to me about Mike Madigan. Matt, you have no idea, man. Speaker Madigan, brother, has, man, he has appropriated some money that is going to programs probably like yours, what you're talking about. And I'm going to be like, yeah, okay, all right, I guess so. But to hear it from a black man, for you to tell me that's executive director of a program that is providing resources for people in our community that are suffering, all right, from substance use, that is way more impactful than the words that I can put together.
I like that, man.
The welcome that I received in Chicago, I don't want to start listing names, but from on the political standpoint, LaShawn Ford, excellent,
love that brother,
to the substance use disorder community.
Is that right?
What oh man,
is that right?
The dude he's not sitting behind a desk just writing stuff. He's out there. He's the convener of the West Side Opioid Task Force, man.
Love that brother.
He's doing excellent work. The one who leads it all, Mr. Danny K. Davis.
Oh yeah, man.
They're just some, I hate to start naming names because I don't want to offend or skip anyone. But there are just a lot of people out here who are in the government space that are doing excellent stuff to help.
And you can't name them all, but and then sometimes you feel bad because by naming a few, you feel like, damn,
right?
I
forget,
right? Yeah, and I don't want to overlook.
And who gonna take it personally?
Right, exactly, right.
So we'll just thank you to all our champions who support substance use care.
Right. And they all can shine. Brother, look, let me say, number one, you acknowledge the governor, so that's a good start right there, bro.
You know what? It's being able to build community here as an outsider has been.
And I would
awesome.
imagine, look, the speaker is in control of a lot that goes down too, man. So Speaker Welch, I always give that brother much respect because I understand. Number one, he's making history in that position, being the first black speaker of the House, man, the General Assembly. That is big, and I'm all about supporting the black political cause because that's where. And this is one thing, man, where our people, a lot of them get it, some don't. Decisions like the ones that are helping you and that you see on your desk, and that this is helping the community that you are sitting right in Inglewood, right? That is our government working the way we wanted to for our vote, right? Some of our people don't see that energy or even understand that is a win for our community, that politics just worked for our community because they need something more immediately gratifying, right? They want to see, well, why do I got these vacant lots in my neighborhood? And you see what I'm saying? And we've got to acknowledge, like, hey, we have some challenges, but brother, we've got some wins that we do have to celebrate.
Exactly.
What I'll say to that is,
and hold that thought. We're going to take a break.
All right.
My brother, Sheldon in the house. See there, Sheldon Colbert and John Walker. John texted me earlier. He's like, hey, man, what we going to do? Just flow? And I'm like, yeah, but we're going to flow.
We're going to flow.
We're going to flow. It's going to be all right.
And it's going to work.
And it's going to work.
It's working great.
And I want when we come back, though, because we are talking to a community of people. Like I said, everybody's got a relative, a friend, a loved one who's being impacted by substance use. I want you to give out the info, how we can connect our people to your institution, brother. And I'm gonna call it an institution because we're gonna make sure
the programs that we have, especially the detox program specifically too, because a lot of people don't know we have that.
Let's do it.
They don't know we have that detox and that outpatient program.
All right, let's do that when we return on the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Smart conversations with smart people makes us smarter. And that's exactly what you get on Bound and Woven with Rufus Williams. This isn't surface level talk. This is where authors become experts, where books become blueprints, and where ideas are challenged, not just discussed. From Colin Woodard on Nations Apart, to Gloria J. Brown Marshall breaking down the history of protests in America, to Gary Tyler sharing a story of resilience and redemption and stitching freedom. These are not interviews. These are conversations that matter, because every book has a story and every story has a deeper meaning. Bound and Woven with Rufus Williams on Bond TV. You can catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, and VON.TV.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Bro, it's a drum roll coming up.
So since I was a baby. I heard some of these songs since I was a baby.
Man, look, this is what I was growing up, dude. This was an anthem.
This is good music, though.
We want the funk.
Listen, this is good music.
It's interesting, man, when you think about the music, man, how music evolved, went from like Motown sound, in the 60s, then kind of went into like Sly and the Family
had
Stone.
Their own unique sound. Now you can't differentiate who has what
Right,
sound.
exactly. But you had, like you said, man, you had everything kind of evolved. Motown, Sly and the Family Stone kind of got in there, right? Norman Whitfield was at Motown, then changed kind of like that psychedelic sound was coming out. Then Marvin Gaye kind of changed the sound up, and then disco came, and then funk. And the 70s.
We can't forget our hometown people, the Shy-Lights, though.
You know what? In fact,
we ain't gonna mention no names without mentioning Chicago's very own.
Well, hold on, man. Marshall. In fact, I forgot to tell my producer this. Marshall Thompson from the Shy-Lights is coming on with me at 2:00. Well, I'm glad you reminded me. Marshall and I talked this morning. Marshall's going to come on and talk about Michael Jackson, of course. Marshall was one. As he will tell you, he was one of the first ones to see the Jackson 5 at the Regal. He was playing around and they were all looking up to him because the Shy-Lights were hot, and they were running around the Regal Theater, man. And I told Marshall, I talked to him this morning, said, "Come on, man, let's talk about the Michael movies out. So you got a comment on it." He said, "Of course I do, brother." He said, "I just talked to Marlon the other day, man." And he was like, "Uncle Marshall, how you doing?" So Marshall Thompson coming up at 2:00. I told him 12:00 his time. Abraxas Southwood Youth and Family Services, the executive director is Shelton Colbert, who's in the studio with me. John Walker, who you just heard from community engagement and marketing for them. So let's talk about some of these services, because I don't want this segment to end without people understanding what you do and how they can connect.
Okay. The top of the pyramid is our withdrawal management unit. That's for people who are suffering from an opiate use disorder or an alcohol use disorder. And the problem with those two things is if you try to stop cold turkey, if you try to stop them without any type of medical management to withdraw from, you can become ill, almost to the point of death with alcohol.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know,
yeah, I can imagine.
So we have that level of medically monitored care is what it's called.
What is opiate use big in African American community?
Opiate use is huge. Now,
because I know we've been getting like the story, coming from the white community, and I'm not throwing any shade, man. It is what it is. But I didn't know is in the African American, what opiates show up in terms. I know heroin's an opiate, right?
Heroin's an
cocaine's
opiate.
an opiate.
No, cocaine's a stimulant.
It's a stimulant. All
Yes,
right. What else is an opiate?
The opiates are things like your prescription medications that you use for pain. So anything like an oxycodone, is an opioid based substance.
Okay.
So what we experience in the Black community, as you noted earlier, is if the rest of America has a cold, Black America has the flu. So when you look at the opioid epidemic in the neighborhood that we serve and across the populations that we see, it's really having a devastating effect. And here's the big picture.
What's the opiate? Is that an opiate that what's the one that's being laced in
Fentanyl.
cocaine? Fentanyl. Is that opiate?
Game changer right there. Yes, that is an opioid. Okay. And here's why it's a chemical that's manufactured that's stronger than heroin. So you can just touch it. You can just come in contact with it and fall under the effects of it, even to the point of death.
Are we seeing that in our community?
We're seeing a lot of fentanyl in our community because it's cheaper and easier to manufacture.
Like how crack cocaine was.
Exactly.
It's easier to sell on the streets then. Cheaper to sell on the streets and change hands, right?
And the age-old theory is how does cocaine from a field in Colombia get to into our cities and streets? We don't own planes, we don't own boats and things of that nature. Well, now with this fentanyl thing, it's something that's manufactured, so it doesn't have to go through
the transportation
hurdles. So it's proliferating throughout all communities, whether it's a community of color or not.
It's killing people.
It is killing people. It is killing
Prince.
people.
I think that's what got Prince.
Right. So here's the great news again about our government structure here. They provide a lot of Narcan to help with the overdose crisis.
Gotcha.
If I would advise everyone to either in your car or in your person to carry Narcan with you, because you never know. You might be able to save a life that day.
And tell people what Narcan is.
Narcan is a chemical reaction agent that if a person is experiencing an overdose, you place it into their nostrils, and it's almost. Remember years ago when our children had allergies and we would give them an EpiPen? It's the EpiPen of overdoses.
Right.
So,
or like what in Hollywood, we used to always see these movies where somebody got bit by a poisonous snake, and then you got the what's it called, the antidote or something like that.
It is literally the antidote to an overdose.
Okay,
it really the average citizen can be a lifesaver if they come across people, because again, addiction, substance use disorder doesn't know race. It doesn't know economics. It doesn't know anything other than death and destruction.
Give everybody, because we're running out of time. Give them the contact information. Okay. If you know someone or love somebody that you feel is a victim right now to substance use and they need some help, how can they reach?
Hold on. And before he does that, Matt, let's throw in what services we offer too, like the inpatient, outpatient services as well.
Really quickly, you can do the withdrawal management piece I just talked about. You can do residential care. You can also do outpatient care. So if your lifestyle doesn't permit you to come live with us for a certain period of time, you can just every day, 3 times a week or whatever fits into your lifestyle.
Brother, this is Betty Ford, man.
We're trying. We're patient centered, and we're patient centered. We provide holistic care. Yes,
So you got residents there for people?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got
All right.
residents, and we're there to support you in your recovery journey.
This is big, man.
We look at it as an honor and a privilege to be able to help someone transform their lives, because that's what we're in the business of, helping people to transform their lives. Get your pencils ready. I'm gonna give that number and address here in a second. So that's what we do there. The phone number 773-737-4600. That number again is 773-737-4600. We're Southwood Interventions. Our address is 5701 Southwood Street. You can walk in Monday through Friday from 8 to 3, or you can call that number I just gave to get an appointment to come in. It doesn't matter. We just want to be, the technical term for it is, my brother, we're a low barrier to care model.
I love it, man.
Meaning we just want to.
This is our opening. John said, look, John said, Matt, I got something, man. We got to come on there, brother, and talk about this. We've got resources, and our community is hurting, and we've got resources that can help. And so that's what we do. We are the voice. We are the communication piece. We've got to tie these pieces together, right, guys? And so let's make this work. We're going to continue this relationship and make sure that we are actively involved in making sure that people understand this and do this the right way, brother.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
And wait a minute, man. We got to come back and talk about Pittsburgh, though, man, because I do want to have this conversation about Black Pittsburgh.
Black Pittsburgh.
Right.
Well, let me leave you with this. Me and my wife moved out here. We left our adult children and grandchildren. She's fallen so heavily in love with the Black culture here in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't make her go back if I wanted to.
I know, brother. I know that's right. I'm gonna call you. I'm going to Pittsburgh either this year or next summer for sure. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be like, all right, now Sheldon, where am I going, man?
we got the hookup.
All right, man. Sheldon Colbert, Executive Director. My brother John Walker.
Yes, sir.
Braxton Southwest Youth and Services, Youth and Family Services. We are building a relationship right here with this family, and we're gonna keep it going. When we return, SNAP benefits, right, are being cut. We're going to tell you what to watch out for, what the new rules are when we return. Headline news coming up next with Logan.
Happy Friday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Proposed Walgreens closure sparks community backlash. In Chicago, second suspect arrested in Chicago robbery linked to fatal police shooting. Mayday protests planned nationwide, including Chicago. And study shows more Americans using drugs and marijuana are to sleep. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, WVON, 1690 AM, Berwyn, Chicago.
Here's BIN News Now. The Florida House has approved a new mid-decade congressional map that cuts Democratic-leaning districts from 8 to 4. Black House Minority Leader Fentrice Driscoll.
For communities in Central Florida and South Florida, their voice is being diminished and they are losing representation.
Democrats call it illegal gerrymandering. A Supreme Court ruling could reshape voting ahead of the midterms. Justices struck down a Louisiana map with a second majority Black district. Former President Barack Obama says the decision weakens the Voting Rights Act, while former VP Kamala Harris called it an outrage. And Texas has executed Black 37-year-old James Broadnax for a 2008 double murder, despite a co-defendant's confession earlier this year. The case drew national attention after prosecutors used Broadnax's rap lyrics as evidence at trial. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Here's more with Esther Dillard.
Thanks, Bree. It's Friday, May 1st. I'm Esther Dillard. That's audio of Black Florida State Representative Angie Nixon on a bullhorn via Fox News, voicing her opposition right before Republican lawmakers voted in favor of redrawing the state's voting maps. Nixon took to her social media page to explain why she took to the House floor in this way.
They were just trying to push through illegally drawn maps that diminish
representation in the Black community, that diminish representation in the Latino community, that diminish representation in the Jewish community. This is a slap in the face of voters everywhere in our state. And they're only doing it, Republicans are only doing this so that they can look out for Donald Trump and allow him to have unfettered power.
The map is heading to Governor Ron DeSantis' desk, but Democrats are promising to sue, arguing the map, which cuts Democratic-leaning districts from 8 to 4, violates the Fair Districts Amendments in the state constitution, prohibiting political gerrymandering. House Republicans say they've passed a Department of Homeland Security funding bill. The bill, already passed in the Senate, funds most of DHS, minus ICE and Border Patrol. These two agencies are expected to be funded through the reconciliation process, which allows Republicans to bypass Democrats. DHS, which includes the Secret Service and TSA, has remained unfunded for 76 days, the longest funding lapse for a single federal department in U.S. history. And finally, if you're looking for work, Black Enterprise reports there may be more money in your skill set than you think. TaskRabbit CEO Ania Smith says people are earning up to 6 figures a year on the platform, doing things like mounting TVs, assembling furniture, and running errands. One recent NYU grad pulled in more than $200,000 in his first year. The U.S. average runs about $50 an hour. Smith says the key is simple. Show up, be reliable, and do good work. You can find TaskRabbit at taskrabbit.com. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow BIN News This Hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Esther Dillard on your home for Black News First, the Black Information Network.
The Rufus Williams Show kicks off Health and Wellness Month on WVON with a conversation about rising healthcare costs. As well, we talk with Dr. Gloria J. Brown Marshall about Martyrs Day, which is happening on July 5th of this year. That's the Rufus Williams Show, 7 to 9 a.m. on WVON, the Talk of Chicago, the Voice of the Nation.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
This Saturday on Meeting the Moment, we're talking first response communications and why what happens inside your organization matters just as much as what you say to the public. Dr. Twin Green, President and CEO of the Lincoln Option Center, and Perry Ermer, President and CEO of the DuSable Black History Museum and Education Center, joined the conversation to break down how internal alignment shapes external messaging in critical moments. Tune in this Saturday at 12 noon for Meeting the Moment, powered by the Chicago Community Trust, right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Ready to fire up your taste buds, Chicago? Black-owned Kodo Hibachi serves fresh, authentic hibachi and sushi, served with a smile. Grab takeout, order delivery, or dine in casual style. No flaming show, just flavor that steals the spotlight. And hey, tell them WVON is your favorite radio station and get 10% off your order. Visit them at 258 West 31st Street. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 8, Friday and Saturday till 9. Sundays till 7. And don't forget, tell them WVON is your favorite radio station and get 10% off your order. Kodo Hibachi, where flavor meets culture.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
The Chicago Blues Festival is more than a festival. It's a celebration of culture, rhythm, and legacy. We'll see you in Millennium Park June 4th through the 7th. We're WVON.
Out with the blues.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to, WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Matt McGill on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
Every time I move, I lose. When I look, I'm in. Every time I turn around, back in love again.
The government has a food stamp program to help low-income families get more food. You will get the stamps once your welfare department says you are eligible. You can spend the stamps just like money at any authorized grocery store. You can't buy anything but food with the stamps. No cigarettes, no alcoholic beverages, and no items you cannot eat. You are about to find out how families are spending their money wisely, how to use the money you have to buy the food and drugs your family really needs, instead of wasting money on items that are poor bargains or that are not good for your health. Your dollar will buy this much food. Your dollar, when used to buy food stamps, will buy this much more.
Wow, that is a commercial, guys, about food stamps from when? 1965? Oh, my goodness, right? Just to give you an idea, a little bit of the history of benefits. We all remember food stamps, or at least some of y'all do. If you're as old as I am, you remember food stamps back in the day. Now it's Link Card and all of that. Today, though, there's a change that's happening with requirements for SNAP benefits. And it's going to impact tens of thousands, and I'm sure more than that, of Americans all around the country. And, of course, it's going to hit Black America the hardest. Attorney Gwen Kaiser Mashon, Assistant Director in Legal Aid's Public Benefits Practice Group, with the Practice Group, is here to talk about this. And, Counselor, welcome to WVON. I hope I introduced you properly, but what are we looking at with these changes? I know there's a lot of concern about people getting, quote unquote, kicked off of SNAP benefits. Are these new requirements reasonable requirements? Are they going to put stress on the most impacted communities?
Yeah, hi. Thanks so much for having me. An introduction was great. We are expecting, the Department of Human Services announced yesterday that they were expecting about 120,000 people in the state of Illinois to lose SNAP benefits as of today. And so we've been working with folks to try to help them understand what these requirements really are, and the fact that most people actually should be exempt from them. We do think that this is going to disproportionately impact folks who have trouble understanding these really complicated rules and trying to make sure that they're understanding what they need to submit to the department and making sure all the documents are processed. Because if they don't overcome those steps, then even if they're eligible for SNAP, their SNAP is stopping.
So are we talking about this being more of an issue of people just doing their due diligence and making sure that, hey, this is how you prove that you are qualified for SNAP benefits, or are the requirements unreasonable? Am I asking a good question there? I hope I am.
Yeah, I'm sort of limited to what I can say. Okay. So just so you know, I work for Legal Aid Chicago, and we're funded through the Legal Service Corporation, which is a federal entity, and there's some limits on what I'm allowed to say. So I'm going to do the best I can here. The work requirements have actually been in the SNAP program for a really long time. What changed was that in July of last year, our federal government passed a new rule making huge cuts to both the SNAP and the Medicaid program.
Sure.
And so the way that it ended up impacting Illinois is that we have had a waiver of the SNAP rules because our unemployment in the state is so high for as far back as pretty much anyone can remember.
Mm-hmm.
But they changed the rules so that Illinois can no longer get that waiver. And so the work requirement went into effect here in February. The work requirement is, I think the majority of people who are receiving SNAP are, if they can meet the work requirement, they already are. And that's why we're working so hard to get the numbers down, because I think ultimately the overwhelming majority of the people who are losing SNAP probably are either meeting the work requirement or they are exempt from the work requirement, but they just don't understand what it is that they need to do to prove those things.
And see, that's what I'm concerned about, right? Because there's one part of this, we got these requirements. There's another part of this, hey, this is what you have to do to be eligible. There's some rules you got to follow in order to continue to get your benefits, right? And here's the reality. Nobody likes change, right? Nobody likes change. I remember when I was bartending, and we have a point of sale system. You guys know what that is, point of sale? That's where you ring up customers and all that stuff. And I'd been working this one point of sale system for years, right? So if somebody comes and orders a drink from me and I ring up your drink, the system that's in there, I know it like the back of my hand. Company decided to get a new system. The new system was, they're like, this is going to make it easier. Matt, this is new technology. But you know what? I did not want to change. You see what I'm saying? I did not want to. I was used to doing it this way. The company wanted to do it another way. And that's part of what I'm getting to, Counselor, is I'm wondering, is some of this easier than people realize? And guys, is that they're changing some of the rules, but you still qualify. You just have to jump through maybe a few more hoops to prove that you qualify, but you still qualify. Let's make sure you have the proper information to do what you have to do to continue to get your benefits.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. And I think part of what's the struggle is even in the process, this has been different for people who have been receiving SNAP for a while. So usually when people have food stamps or SNAP, if the department needs a certain sort of document from them to show that they're eligible, the department sends them a piece of paper in the mail that says what it is that they need to submit, and they get a certain amount of time to submit it. But that process is not happening right now. So if someone says, hey, I think I'm exempt, or hey, I think I'm meeting these work requirements, they'll give stuff to the department to show that. But the department's then using a different process if they think that whatever the person is submitting is not enough.
Got it.
And so I think that's been a huge challenge for the clients that we're seeing, because we have folks who thought that they submitted all the documents they needed to get an exemption so that they, to show that the work requirement shouldn't have to apply to them. And they thought they were good. And then they ended up getting termination notices anyway. And so now we're working with them to get their SNAP benefits reinstated.
You know what? I've got about a minute left. Gwen, Counselor, tell me what other benefits or programs or resources are out there for people?
Sure. So if anyone has their SNAP benefits terminated and they want to figure out how to get them back on, they're welcome to call our office if they live in Cook County. Our phone number is 312-341-1070. And for immediate assistance, the Greater Chicago Food Depository has a ton of resources, and they're creating some emergency resources now, particularly for folks who are elderly who are losing their benefits.
Right. Got it. You're amazing. Thank you. For anything else we need to put out there for people to understand? You gave the number. That's great. I just want to make sure we're dotting all our I's and crossing all our T's. We know this is going to impact our community really bad, but we want to make sure people have access to information. And I know the work that you're doing with legal aid is important. I've used legal aid before, so I absolutely know how beneficial that has been for me and other people in our community. If there's anything else people need to know, Attorney, please come on and let us know.
No, I mean, that's great to hear. And I just really want to encourage people to keep having hope, and we'll keep fighting the fights. And we're hoping that anyone who lost SNAP, we're going to find some way to get them back to have the food assistance they need to survive.
All right. Attorney Gwen Kaiser Mashon, Associate Director in Legal Aid's Public Benefits Practice Group. You're amazing, and thanks for coming on.
Great. Thank you so much.
All righty. It is 118 on WVON 591. Hey, I got phone lines wide open. No calls yet today. I saw Eddie Reed out there called earlier. So we got a bunch of stuff we're talking about. Of course, today is May Day, SNAP benefits, all kind of stuff going on. Am I missing anything? The Kentucky Derby's tomorrow. NBA basketball. There's a lot to talk about. It's the Friday show. What's on your mind? You're listening to the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
This Saturday in Chicago, the law takes center stage. Join Rainbow Push Coalition for a powerful Saturday morning forum, Law Day, where justice, civil rights, and legacy meet in real time. Be there as Yusuf D. Jackson leads the conversation with Reverend Stephen Thurston II moderating. Special musical guest Opa Staples and Grammy Award-winning guitarist Isaiah Sharkey setting the atmosphere. It all happens Saturday, May 2nd at Rainbow Push National Headquarters, 930 East 50th Street in Chicago. Doors open at 8:30. Forum begins at 10. Can't make it in person? Watch live on WVON Facebook page, YouTube, The Word Network, and WJYS. Because when the law works for all, we all move forward. For more information, visit rainbowpush.org.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Hi, I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. I'd like to invite you to join me for the Borges Report for lively discussions about legal matters, politics, government, entertainment, and the topics that concern you in your life. Start your Sunday the Borges way with the Borges Report.
The Borges Report with Ernesto Borges, Sunday mornings at 9 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Moving in the right direction, living just enough for the city. It's hard to work some days for 14 hours, and you can bet he barely makes a dollar.
All right. We got the Friday show going on. What did Annette tell? Oh, the SNAP benefit's a big story today. I didn't watch any news today at all, so I woke up. I had to put car in the shop, and I jumped in an Uber, came here. I'm glad we had Brother John Walker and Brother Sheldon Colbert on to talk about what Abraxas is doing, and I didn't think about that substance use issue in the African American community, but I guess it is obvious that every community is impacted by that, right? And so, the more information we can get out there, the better. This overall conversation, though, about SNAP benefits, I do want to throw this out there for potential conversation, right? Look, you grew up in America. You guys know about SNAP. You know about link cards. You know about food stamps, all of that, the history of the government and supplemental benefits, right, around food. What was the other one called? There was another food program. It wasn't SNAP. What was it called? They had another, it was an acronym for it. I can't think of it right now. But that was out there. So the government, all of these programs have gone, right? Now we know the right Republicans have always fought a lot of these programs and have wanted to cut funding, right? And Democrats have tried to preserve. So when people ask, like, why do blue states have, this tax issue and da-da-da-da-da, trying to provide more resources to communities that need them, right? But it's always been this issue about fraud when it comes to food stamps, link cards, SNAP benefits, whatever. WIC, that's what I was trying to think of. Wasn't that a program, a government program, WIC, Women, Infant, and Children? Wasn't that one as well? Yeah. EBT, right. Thanks, Fred Johnson. There's always been this question about fraud and whether or not there are people who are getting food stamps and link cards and all that stuff that really should be working. They are able-bodied citizens, so to speak. And so then that's where Republicans come in and say, you've got fraud going on. I think we had this conversation the other day about welfare queens and stuff, right? And that was we were talking about that. Is this a good thing, what you see today going on? Are Republicans correct on this, that there need to be some requirements and people need to follow some rules here? I don't know what you think about that at 591-1690. Just something for you to think about. And anything else that's going on in the news that you might think is chat worthy, you can bring that up, and we'll talk about that as well. Jay, welcome to WVON. What's on your mind, brother? Jay, I hear you, man.
Matt, how are you?
Hey, there he is. What's happening? Happy Friday.
Hey, Matt, yesterday you were talking about people like Charlie Kirk and Jesse Fuentes, and you were talking about how dangerous they were, right?
Well, I don't know if I used that word. I said what the conversation yesterday was about where does Black America find leadership, right? So Reverend Jackson passed away earlier this year. And I was making a point about how there was a lot of conversations, a lot of people saying, hey, who's going to be the next Reverend Jackson? Who's going to be the next leader, Black leader? We got Reverend Jackson, we got Reverend Sharpton, and whoever else. I was making a point about how the MAGA crowd,
their leadership comes from.
That their leadership doesn't necessarily come from the pulpit, the church, or they don't, they're not necessarily so much focused on one or two leaders. Their leadership comes from media, streaming. I was talking about Steve Bannon with Breitbart News, Alex Jones with InfoWars, Charlie Kirk with, I forget what his organization was called, but Charlie Kirk, what was it called?
Would you say that a voice
Turning Point, Haley. Thank you, Haley. Haley's in the studio with me, and turn Haley's microphone on because she might be helping me where my old brain can't remember anything. She's got a young brain that can't. But Turning Point, I couldn't even remember that yesterday. So just think about how Charlie Kirk grew Turning Point, and what did it do? What did InfoWars do for Alex Jones? Even though Alex is kind of wacky, but look, you know what Breitbart News did for Steve Bannon? It got him in the White House next to Donald Trump. You know what Turning Point did for Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk, not only did he make a ton of money, but Charlie Kirk, let me tell you guys why people are so upset about him. Of course, the tragedy of this young man losing his life. But let me tell you, this was their heir apparent to Donald Trump, y'all. This was the person they were going to put out there in 2028. If it wasn't going to be Marco Rubio or whoever, let me tell you, in their minds, Charlie Kirk was going to keep the torch burning for MAGA.
So would you say Charlie Kirk or Jesse Fuentes, their voices are dangerous or were dangerous?
Well, I mean, you got people who would say that Barack Obama's voice was dangerous on the right. You got people that would say Reverend Jackson or Reverend Sharpton's voice are dangerous. So I think that depends on who the messenger. I think here's what I would think. When you are giving out misinformation, then your voice is dangerous. Yes, absolutely. And Charlie Kirk gave out misinformation.
So how could you laugh at Art when he said someone's voice was dangerous? And it's the same thing. They're just using the platform they have to project their point of view.
Sure.
I mean, even you do that. So like you said, someone may say your voice is dangerous.
Good. I'm fine with that. Cool. Wait. You think I'm gonna back off of that? Because you know what? I want the person who says my voice is dangerous to call in and tell me that. And then I want them to tell me, what did I say that was dangerous?
Okay.
I'm down for that.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
But see, that's
what do young people say,
same,
Haley? I want that.
That Charlie Kirk said.
I want all the smoke. Thank you.
Charlie Kirk was saying, "Hey, I'm not saying anything that's not factual," and maybe to him, the stuff that he was saying was factual.
That's fine, and that's where the interactive debate comes in. That's where you challenge me on it. That's where and look, I'm not saying that this has to be debate and challenge and all that stuff, but I'm just saying Charlie Kirk put stuff out there that warranted debate, and that's why people came at him, right? So he would go to these college campuses, right, and debate people. That's what he wanted, though. Charlie wanted all that smoke. He wanted it,
right?
Yeah.
And Matt, one more thing. I know you frequently refer to yourself as the Black Spartan, but a Spartan was a Greek.
I know. You want me to change that? I got that from.
Be the Black Zulu or the.
Oh, that's fine.
Chicago
I can be.
Zulus?
I'm fine with that. Some people would argue about Greece and Greek lineage as well as being African. So I'm sure there's some space for that as well.
Well, their ideology definitely was.
Right. Sean Taylor gave me that name, and I just thought it was funny, and that's why I started. She called me the Black Spartan, and so then I just started playing with it and saying the Black Spartan, and I just started using it. It was really, honestly, there was no thought behind it as much as it was Sean giving me that name and saying, "You're the Black Matt, you're the Black Spartan," and I started playing with it, calling it Spartacus. And then my brothers went to Hales Franciscan High School, and they were the Spartans. So I just had fun with that as well. Good call, Jay. Phone lines are wide open at 591-1690. Listening to the Matt McGill Show. Logan with news coming up next.
Hope you're having a fantastic Friday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's happening in your local and national news. Walgreens may be looking to close another one of its stores, which has drawn strong reactions from local public officials and community leaders. WVON's Annette Flournoy has more.
After packing up and shutting down 5 Southside Walgreens locations, Chicago Alderman Will Hall of the 6th Ward is planning to rally against the possible closure of another Walgreens at 86th and Cottage Grove. In an exclusive one-on-one with WVON's Cleopatra Draper, Alderman Hall says he plans to fight to make Walgreens accountable for what he calls corporate abandonment.
So the notion that the money is not in the community is not true. The notion that the need is not great is not true. This is corporate abandonment, which is a strategy that we see with those in these C-suites that don't care about us that live on the streets.
He's staging a rally outside the store.
We're going to not only voice our disapproval and our disgust at this corporate abandonment. I want innovators to show up. I want investors to show up, and I want seniors that are mad as hell that they won't be able to have access to health care to show up.
He says he's planning to demand that the company work with community leaders to repurpose the land. Annette Flournoy, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, Jaron Tate, 18, has been arrested and charged in connection with a Dollar Tree robbery in Chicago. Authorities say he and Alfonso Talley stole about $110 while assaulting a store employee. After the robbery, Talley allegedly shot and killed Officer John Bartholomew and critically injured another officer. Tate is now in custody and expected to appear in court. In other news, massive May Day demonstrations are planned across the U.S., with organizers expecting thousands of events. Nady Dominguez of Organized Power in Numbers says over 3,000 protests could take place. Cities like Chicago and Los Angeles are preparing for possible economic shutdown actions. Chicago Public Schools says classes will continue despite the Chicago Teachers Union supporting a no school, no work, no shopping protest. And a new health survey indicates more and more Americans are using drugs and marijuana to go to sleep. Dr. Joe Galati says any drug, whether it's edibles or even melatonin, doesn't get to the core issue.
You have to go back and dissect and get to the root of the problem, which is why the availability of all of these over-the-counter agents are strictly a Band-Aid to a deeper problem. Is it screen time? Is it the fact that you have sleep apnea? Is it the fact that you're eating too late? Are there other issues like restless leg syndrome? Are you anxious? Getting sleep in the number of hours you need, 7 or more hours, is going to be a very good start in trying to address the chronic disease, which really is creating a lot of serious illness for a lot of people.
Galati says if you resort to drugs or medications to fall asleep consistently, you risk becoming addicted and then you might have withdrawals. If you try to get off the drugs, he strongly suggests ending your screen exposure 2 hours before bedtime if you have sleep issues. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
In June, Chicago will make history. It's the opening of the Obama Presidential Center. It's our center, our story, in our city. We're WVON.
At WVON, we believe your health is your wealth. That's why in May and June, we're putting wellness front and center, because too many of us are putting ourselves last. From heart health to mental wellness, prevention to daily habits, it all counts. In May and June, we'll be sharing important information to help you live healthier lives, because your health is more than personal, it's powerful. Join WVON in our commitment to stronger bodies, clearer minds, and a healthier community.
If you're a healthcare provider or have your own practice and want to reach tens of thousands of WVON motivated listeners, connect with us at info@wvon.com or call 773-247-6200 to invest in an outreach campaign during our health and wellness initiative. Let's do it together.
Video gambling terminals aren't owned by us. They're owned by out-of-state corporations that have never invested in our neighborhoods or our families. They take the money, we take the hit. These machines kill union jobs and drain pension funds for first responders. When these machines move in, crime goes up, break-ins rise. Our community pays the price. We deserve good union jobs, safer streets, and real investments that stay here and build something lasting. Tell City Council, repeal video gambling terminals. Paid for by Neighborhoods Safety First Association.
It's Rufus Williams.
Mayor Brandon Johnson. I'm going to upset you right now, and I'm looking forward to a Cubs World Series.
That upsets Titus. It doesn't bother me, not at all. I'm from that space. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Mayor.
Sorry, brother.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is Kamini Khan, certified financial planner professional. For the past year, I've been on a mission to change lives and build wealth in our community. Together, we're changing the paradigm. This year, I'm back with a new series, Wealth Strategies, Money Talks. Join me every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on the Rufus Williams Show as we have thoughtful discussions around building wealth in our community. We'll discuss topics like investing, savings, tax strategies, retirement, and all things money. Yes, that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m., so set those alarms. Also, be sure to check out the podcast at WVONwealthshow.com.
Komini Khan is a certified financial planner professional with Optimal Planning Partners in alliance with Equitable Advisors, LLC member SIPC in Oak Brook, Illinois. For more information, please call 630-575-5046.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
With me high, baby, just a little bit, just a little bit. With just a touch of love. And we spend some time. Just a touch of love, lemon. Just a touch of love. Just a touch of love.
Yes. What time is it? All right, it's 1:39. Oh, wait a minute. So look, we're going to call Marshall. Where's Sonia? I don't even think I've told Sonia this yet, man. You see how my show is just so fly off the handle. Off the handle. Marshall, we're going to... Everybody knows Marshall in Chicago. Marshall from the Shy Lights. And Marshall, I thought it'd be fun to have Marshall on the show just because of Mike, the Michael Jackson movie being out and the Jacksons, and Marshall was right there around the beginning, of course. And Marshall can tell you about little Michael Jackson at the Regal Theater back in the day. So that's just something to keep in mind. And I got Marshall, we're going to call Marshall at 2:00. I think we're going to be able to give him, if he wants to link in, I think we might be able to get a link for him to stream in. He's in Las Vegas. You guys know the Shy Lights, the legendary Shy Lights in the city of Chicago. So Marshall's going to come on with us at 2:00. So maybe try to get a link, because I asked him if he could link in, Sonia. And if he links in, then we can get him on Facebook Live. So all you guys, if not, he'll call in and we'll talk about the Michael Jackson video. All right, Haley's in the studio. I know y'all asking, who's the girl in the studio? The young lady in the studio. That's Haley Vaughn in the studio with me. One of my friend's daughter, and Haley's cool, super cool, and she's got a lot of personality. And her mom was like, Matt, you should have Haley on your show. She'd be cool. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. She would be cool. And she can talk a little bit about everything. But Michael Jackson, to you, how old are you, number one?
32.
So what is Michael Jackson to 32-year-old people in your age group? Michael Jackson means what?
Listen, I was just with friends. We had a game night last night, and Michael Jackson, the Michael movie, was a topic of conversation. So very much present, top of mind. I remember where I was when we got the news of his passing.
Of course, yeah.
Everyone does. But Michael has been, what was exciting about seeing the movie, because I did see it, besides the fact that it was fantastic, you see it's a new generation that is going to be introduced to Michael Jackson. It's the maintenance, keeping his legacy alive and reinvigorating who he was, what his music was, all that he did. And I feel the same way, even being a younger generation, a younger fan, a younger listener coming up like 90s, early 2000s, but it was still very prevalent, and especially my parents played it. Everyone played it. Everyone loved it.
Yeah, so that's interesting because so Michael Jackson is going to transcend generations, right? And I think we kind of know that, right? But here's what's interesting. Usually when young people they get into their music, and old music is like old music to them, right? And they may respect it, but still old music and old artists are like old to them. Is there something different about Michael Jackson than, let's say, I'm trying to think of somebody else that may have come up. So if we go to Michael, because the movie focuses on the 80s for the most part, right? It focuses on the Thriller, that period of his life.
Yeah, the part 1, it ends in, I believe, 88.
So, all right. So we're talking about the 80s. So here you are, 32. And I always, Logan and Lexi going to come on. I'm always trying to get into the younger minds. All right. Because I'm old. So I'm trying to get younger people on the show. Right. What is Michael Jackson different than, let's say, Shalimar? You don't even know who Shalimar is, do you? The group Shalimar.
I know Shalimar.
Or I'm trying to think of somebody else from the 80s that might have been big, right? Like, what about Prince?
I mean,
would Prince resonate the same way that Michael Jackson does?
Yes.
All right.
To me. But I may be biased because my parents played a lot of music for us from young, and Prince to me is right there with Michael. Yeah.
He's badass. I'm trying to think of somebody else that would be, what would be a good example? El DeBarge. All right, that's a guy. You know about DeBarge?
I do.
Right.
But I'm proving my point, I guess.
I guess you are, right? Because see, that's what's so young people, like when I was growing up, man, we thought like music from the 60s was like old. Like, we were like, okay, we respect them. But it was like, nobody was going to go out and try to, dress like somebody from the 60s. Right. Michael, this is a little different. What's going on here? And like you said, the movie is introduced. So what did you think about the movie overall? Because obviously you were young. I mean, Michael Jackson died like how long ago? 60? Was it 2010 around? Hold on.
09.
It was
09.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So I guess I was.
Did you like the movie? Number one, get closer to the mic.
I loved the movie.
There you go.
I thought it was fantastic. I don't have a lot of critiques. I know there are some. I know there are opinions on certain plot points or certain people who were very prevalent in his life that were not represented in the movie, relationships, etc. That is an aside to the fact that the movie was electrifying. It was the same, I think one of the main producers from Bohemian Rhapsody, for those who know, they did the Queen biopic a couple years ago. That was fantastic. That's represented in like some of the scenes with the live.
What was the Queen?
Shows.
It was Rhapsody. Yeah. You know what? I got to admit, guys, I guess I did not really appreciate at the time, because obviously I was alive, Queen. I think, I mean, some of the songs I appreciated, but I guess I didn't really like kind of.
Yeah. It's worth watching if if you're interested, but the parallels is really what I'm trying to say in terms of like some of those scenes
the
where
lead
he's
singer
doing the show.
Queen,
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Right? I didn't really like Freddie Mercury. Wasn't a big deal to me. I knew the group Queen. I knew Another One Bites the Dust, and I knew these songs, right, that we rock. Because even like when I was growing up in house music, man, we used to play Another One Bites the Dust. That was a house music song, man. We would Chosen Few would mix that in with some house music, right? But I couldn't even tell you. I don't think I knew the name for Freddie Mercury when I was in high school.
Right. Well, to your point about what makes Michael Jackson different, right, than some of these other groups or artists that might have been at the time just as big or just as relevant, especially in the Black community. But these are artists that had anthems that transitioned and went beyond time, space. They broke global barriers. So in a way that some of these hits are shown in their development or in performance in the movie, these songs meant, I think, more culturally. And that's what makes them kind of evergreen in the way they resonate with multi-generational families and people all over the earth, right? Because these were like the soundtracks to people's lives.
Well, yeah, Michael had a long, the thing about it, Michael had a long soundtrack, man, because you go back to Little Michael Jackson and into the 70s, man, those albums that I think go underappreciated. That Destiny album, man, oh, brother, there's some songs on there. And then, of course, the 80s, now we're talking about Thriller and Bad. And then, so Michael just kept the soundtrack. Who's your Michael? You're 32. You're Michael Jackson. Who's it, like Justin Bieber or somebody?
You know what? It's so... That is funny. The only thing I will say about that is one of my friends drew a parallel, but that I would not recognize Justin Bieber as a Michael Jackson. I think there are parallels in their artistry, not musically, but in their child to adult artist experience. I'll say that. But who would be our Michael Jackson? I don't know. I guess maybe Beyonce.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a good one.
I think that's where I can land with that.
That's a good one. Lee Williams says, just announced Michael Part 2 is a go. Already, they will start filming later this year. All right, so Marshall Thompson's coming up at 2:00, so we're going to talk to Marshall from the Shy Lights about Michael. I'm asking him if he's seen the movie. You never know, man. Marshall may not have seen the movie, but he doesn't need to see the movie to tell you about Michael. That's for sure, because he's got some stories from the old Regal Theater and a lot more, guys. All right, 591. I still got phone lines open if you got some thoughts on this as well. 591. You can talk about anything. Y'all know my show. Normally, my phone lines are all blocked, guys. So, look, if you want to get something in, now's the time to do it at 591-1690. Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hi, I'm Lori Smith, host of Meeting the Moment. WVON, in partnership with the Chicago Community Trust, developed Meeting the Moment to amplify the voices of nonprofits across Chicagoland, giving them the communication tools they need to expand their reach and turn awareness into action. Right now, our communities are facing real challenges, from economic uncertainty to public safety to access and equity. But in the middle of it all, there are organizations doing the work quietly, faithfully, powerfully. With Meeting the Moment, we'll have honest conversations about the issues shaping our region and, more importantly, the solutions happening on the ground. And each week, we'll feature a Chicagoland nonprofit making a difference. You'll hear their story and find out how you can support their work. Because Meeting the Moment is about more than just awareness. It's about impact. Join the Meeting the Moment movement, a program designed for the doers. For more information, visit WVON.com/Meeting the Moment. Listen every Saturday at 12 noon, right here on WVON 1690, The Talk of Chicago. Let's meet the moment together. Powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray.
Congressman Jonathan Jackson on the line.
I saw a meme that said America will come and get you. When it's about the oil, they bombed in Iran, they've got oil. They bombed in Iraq, they've got oil. They bombed in Libya, they've got oil. And now they bombed in Venezuela, they've got oil. And they even came after Diddy because he had oil.
Come on, Congressman. That was a great setup. That was good. That was good.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Heart disease and stroke can change lives in an instant, but healing, hope, and recovery are possible. This Saturday on the Community Health Focus Hour, Cedric McCoy will host part 2 of Heart and Stroke Connections. Hear from you Chicago medicine medical experts and stroke survivors with powerful stories of healing, strength, and the journey of recovery. Listen this Saturday at 1 p.m. on WVON and Facebook Live. The Community Health Focus Hour, Saturdays at 1 p.m., powered by the Urban Health Initiative of U Chicago Medicine. At the forefront.
Now back to Matt McGill on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I said a hip hop, the hip it, the hip it, the hip hip hop, you don't
Okay.
stop the rocket to the bang.
Why not?
Jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat. Now what you hear
We got to get some old school rappers on for the show, right? Let's see. Curtis Blow was on with who? I think he was on with a T, but he came to Chicago. What old school rapper could we get on the show? I'm trying to think. What would you say? Haley Vaughn. That's young, and she don't know nothing about no old school rap.
Listen, the only other, I feel like, in terms of time period, if we're talking about Curtis Blow, I also think about Sugar Hill Gang.
Right.
But I don't know who from that group is still with us.
Right, because we just lost. Who do we just lost one brother. That's a good question. Sugar Hill, you're right. That is the same era. I'm gonna tell you who would be awesome to get on would be LL.
Yeah,
because it's really kind of crazy, man. People don't realize that LL Cool J has been around for a long time. L stays so young looking and cool and hip and contemporary, right? We forget like LL was. Oh, I'm gonna tell you who we need to get. We need to get either Reverend Run. Yeah, that's who we need to get. Run DMC. That's right. That would be it. James, welcome to WVON. What's on your mind?
Hey, Matt, how you doing? And good afternoon to your guest. You know we lost one more member of Sequence also.
Yeah, I did not know.
Blondie passed away.
No, that's right. We talked about Blondie. I had the brother who now runs Sugar Hill Records on with me.
Yeah.
And we talked about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's Sylvia's son. You know, Sylvia Robinson was running. She was the one that started that record label, and now her son is running it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. As far as the Michael Jackson movie, there's a lot of things that me being a 70s kid just like you, Matt, we've seen it already. What we saw everything already. What I want to know what's the issue, what happened between him and Paul McCartney when he bought the Beatles catalog. I want to know what happened to him and Tommy Mottola when he sabotaged the Invincible album. That's what I want to know. And he owned half of Sony's catalog. That's the stuff I want to see.
Yeah,
I want to see. And the main reason, the real reason why he had to do This Is It. That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things I want to know.
They said it's hard to imagine Michael was having some money problems, but the This Is It tour sounded like he felt like he needed money coming in, right? You know, so that's part of it. I think it is, but it's hard to match. When you look at Michael Jackson's life, it looks like Michael had a spending problem. You know, he liked to buy a lot of things, right? And so he might not have been the most financially responsible person on earth, even though he had a ton of money coming in, I would imagine, with that catalog. But man, the music business is so tricky, man. You never know who's really making money, because they can look like they're making money and not be making money. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So.
Correct. But if I had to compare Michael Jackson movie to the Jacksons' American Dream, as if they would just stand alone and they weren't doing a part 2 or a part 3, I'm watching the Jacksons' American Dream.
I got to see the movie first. I'm gonna have to try to go see it this weekend, man. Good call, James. I'm gonna try to go see it this weekend, because I feel like I need to, as much as I play Michael Jackson stuff, I feel like I need to go see the movie just so I can have a good conversation about it. Anyway, but so that's what I've heard some people criticize it, saying that I didn't learn anything new about him, right? See, James was going for he was going for the dirt. I want to know what was up between him and Tommy Mottola and him and Paul McCartney. I guess him and Paul McCartney might have fell out on that catalog issue, which was huge, but that was a business decision. Do they talk about that in the movie at all?
They don't. And I feel like my thought process on not learning anything new in the Michael movie, right, is like, this wasn't the purpose. It's not a documentary. It's not a deep dive series. It's not a Netflix uncovers, right? It's a big cinema biopic entertainment production, and it is meant for entertainment purposes only.
Right.
And if you go for entertainment, you will leave entertained. If you go to figure out what you missed, what you didn't know, you will leave disappointed. But it depends on how you're looking at it.
You know, it's funny you say that, right? They probably should have had that at the beginning of the movie. This is meant for entertainment purposes only, right? So don't be you're not going to find out, about Michael's sex life or the accusations, maybe, or which was a big issue, right? Because I think some people even mentioned that, right? Which I think came a little later on in the movie, because people want to know some other things, right? Because I had this feeling about, I kind of felt like Michael was a little too much into white culture, right? I kind of felt like he wanted to assimilate into white culture too much. Now, Jafar says, I read a comment that he made and saying that's one of the big misconceptions about Michael was that he wanted to be white or something like that, right?
So
I kind of felt like, because to me, Michael was fascinated with like Marlon Brando and Brooke Shields. And, I think part of me thought Michael was too enamored with, trying to fit into white culture when I don't think he realized that, man, do you realize how good you look right now at Thriller with that nose. Keep that nose. You don't have to get it. You don't have to do any more work. Your skin color, everything. White people want to look tanned like you.
Yeah.
They want fuller lips. And you know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like Michael, I don't know about the skin bleaching. If he really had vitiligo, I'm sure they don't get into that in the movie.
They do. So what I was about to say, Matt, is almost every question you just put on the table here, they do answer and address in the movie. So they talk about part of the push for mainstream. And, the way they frame it is it was rooted in actually him facing a lot of discrimination as a Black artist, even after he rose to a certain level in the industry, and that he wanted to push forward into MTV and other avenues like that to kind of as a way to, I think, tear down that barrier racially for himself. They do address vitiligo. They address some of his choices with, the plastic surgery as a result of, I think, again, their framing is the abuse he faced from his father. And there are other things that I won't give away, but there are other things that they allude to.
Yeah, it's like he had 10 nose jobs or something, man. It's
and there was a lot of trauma and
how
not
many
a lot of
nose jobs do you need?
Right,
That's what I'm. And so I'm wondering, like, what nose are you going for, dude? I mean, the Thriller nose was good.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get any thinner. I mean, you want to get a thinner nose than that one?
I agree.
Right. I don't know. That's why I think but part of that could be, who knows? Michael, here's the real part now. When you think about Hollywood and the worst that Hollywood could be to a child star, Michael's life is kind of like the best and the worst. And that's the interesting kind of juxtaposition to me that exists, because you can see the best of him being this child star, and then you can see the worst of it.
Yeah.
All embodied in one human being, one journey, one lifetime, one story.
And I would say that's shown. And I think what you realize is this is a man that just grew up in a world where he never was normal. And from 8 years or 9 years old, however on, never lived in the real world that you and I live in.
Yeah. Reggie's like, Matt, just please see the movie. Reggie, I missed the good old days when you could just stand outside of Blockbuster and somebody would just sell you the bootleg copy of the movie for $5. What happened to the good old days? Hey, I'm gonna call Marshall. He's not answering the phone. Let's see if we can get Marshall Thompson from the Shy Lights on with us when we return on the Matt McGill Show.
Happy Friday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. AFE Safety Act debate reignited after Chicago police killing. Illinois advances bill to protect prescription privacy. Trump says final bailout offer made to Spirit Airlines. And robot vacuums are more popular than ever in 2026, and research says they now may be worth the price. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, WVON 1690 AM, Berwyn, Chicago.
Here's PIN News Now. The Florida House has approved a new mid-decade congressional map that cuts Democratic-leaning districts from 8 to 4. Black House Minority Leader Fentrice Driscoll.
For communities in Central Florida and South Florida, their voice is being diminished and they are losing representation.
Democrats call it illegal gerrymandering. A Supreme Court ruling could reshape voting ahead of the midterms. Justices struck down a Louisiana map with a second majority Black district. Former President Barack Obama says the decision weakens the Voting Rights Act, while former VP Kamala Harris called it an outrage. And Texas has executed Black 37-year-old James Broadnax for a 2008 double murder, despite a co-defendant's confession earlier this year. The case drew national attention after prosecutors used Broadnax's rap lyrics as evidence at trial. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Here's more with Esther Dillard.
Thanks, Bree. It's Friday, May 1st. I'm Esther Dillard. audio of Black Florida State Representative Angie Nixon on a bullhorn via Fox News, voicing her opposition right before Republican lawmakers voted in favor of redrawing the state's voting maps. Nixon took to her social media page to explain why she took to the House floor in this way.
They were just trying to push through illegally drawn maps that diminish representation in the Black community, that diminish representation in the Latino community, that diminish representation in the Jewish community. This is a slap in the face of voters everywhere in our state. And they're only doing it, Republicans are only doing this so that they can look out for Donald Trump and allow him to have unfettered power.
The map is heading to Governor Ron DeSantis' desk, but Democrats are promising to sue, arguing the map, which cuts Democratic-leaning districts from 8 to 4, violates the Fair Districts Amendments in the state constitution, prohibiting political gerrymandering. House Republicans say they've passed a Department of Homeland Security funding bill. The bill, already passed in the Senate, funds most of DHS, minus ICE and Border Patrol. These two agencies are expected to be funded through the reconciliation process, which allows Republicans to bypass Democrats. DHS, which includes the Secret Service and TSA, has remained unfunded for 76 days, the longest funding lapse for a single federal department in U.S. history. And finally, if you're looking for work, Black Enterprise reports there may be more money in your skill set than you think. TaskRabbit CEO Ania Smith says people are earning up to 6 figures a year on the platform, doing things like mounting TVs, assembling furniture, and running errands. One recent NYU grad pulled in more than $200,000 in his first year. The U.S. average runs about $50 an hour. Smith says the key is simple. Show up, be reliable, and do good work. You can find TaskRabbit at taskrabbit.com. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow BIN News This Hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Esther Dillard on your home for Black News First, the Black Information Network.
The Rufus Williams Show kicks off Health and Wellness Month on WVON with a conversation about rising healthcare costs. As well, we talk with Dr. Gloria J. Brown Marshall about Martyrs Day, which is happening on July 5th of this year. That's the Rufus Williams Show, 7 to 9 a.m. on WVON, the Talk of Chicago, the Voice of the Nation.
Illinois politicians did it again. They secretly tucked bad policy into the budget. Now, guess who pays the price? Servers, drivers, stylists, workers who depend on tips. Unless Springfield fixes this mistake, your credit and debit cards may not work to pay sales tax or tips starting July 1st. Tell Springfield, stop the credit card chaos law. Learn more at guardyourcard.com/Illinois. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
At Fifth Third Bank, being part of the community means investing in its future. From supporting local businesses to funding neighborhood initiatives, we're here to create lasting opportunities. It's our commitment to Chicago. This is banking, a Fifth Third better. Learn how we're making a difference at 53.com. That's 53.com. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
It's D.L. Hughley.
Nick Cannon's logic is as weak as his program. Everybody fucking knew that Republicans freed the slaves. Everybody knew it. The last time he did something for black people was 163 years ago. You got to update your resume. Have a 5-year gap on your resume and see if it's valid. When Republicans did that, Hawaii wasn't a state. If you're going to talk about the greatest of a policy that helped black people out, it should at least be sometime after the fucking moon landing.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you and living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
Get ready for the return of the largest blues festival in the world. The Chicago Blues Festival is heading to Millennium Park June 4th through the 7th, and WVON will be there. Will you?
Hey, the blues is all right. Hey, the blues is all right.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Matt McGill on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
I don't understand the way you think, saying that she's yours, not mine. Sending roses and your silly dreams, really just a waste of time, because she's mine. The doggone girl is mine. Don't waste your time, because the doggone girl is mine.
All right, this is my favorite part.
I love you more than he. Take you anywhere. When I love you endlessly. Love you
Right here.
Come and go. You need to understand. But we both can remember something, one after the other. And one day you
Michael Jackson. All right. Haley Vaughn, obviously you weren't born when this song was out. But this, when somebody was talking about Michael and Paul McCartney, I think James, saying what happened between, when they did this song, they were good and they were digging each other. Somebody, though, who absolutely was born when Michael Jackson first started. And he's Marshall Thompson. Actually, you don't even have to say his last name. All you have to say is Marshall in Chicago. And everybody knows you're talking about Marshall Thompson, the legendary R&B singer, producer, everything from the Shy Lights. Marshall, number one, welcome to WVON. My producer, Sonia, was like, would you tell Marshall to answer his phone? She was like, I'm calling him. He's not picking up the phone. I'm like, Marshall's a man of leisure these days. He does whatever he wants to do, right?
Right on. Pleasure being here, buddy.
Tell me when and where the first time you saw the Jackson 5.
Well, Jackson 5 came to my home in 1967. Okay, they came to my home looking for me. I wasn't there. Mom, she was there. She was 110 years old at the time. And when I got back home, they said Joe Jackson, the Jackson 5 guy, he left you a card to call him. So I called them, and they wasn't popular right then. Called them and said, "Hello, how you doing? What's going on?" He said, "Yeah, it's Marshall." I said, "Yes, Marshall." He said, "Well, we're trying to find you. We're trying to use your arrangements." Huh? I said, "Yeah, we need an arrangement. We're going on a talent show at the Regal Theater, and we need your arrangement for Bobby Taylor's song. Okay, it's called 'I'm Your Man,' because Jermaine wanted to sing it."
Who was Bobby Turner?
Bobby Taylor.
Bobby Taylor. Oh, okay. All right, Bobby.
Yeah. So they wanted to sing his song, "I'm Your Man." So we used to sing it all the time. We had our arrangements because we've been touring all across the country with it. In New York City, Apollo Theater, Uptown Theater, in Philly, all the big arenas. So they came by the house, and that's when they first.
So wait. They came by your house. Where were you living at the time?
I was living not 47 St. Lawrence, because it was right for Oakwood Boulevard. That was 722 East Oakwood Boulevard, next to Lincoln Center.
This is so funny. This is so Joe Jackson in the station wagon with the Jackson 5 are pulling up in front of your house on Oakwood.
No, they didn't have the station wagon. And I was with him when we bought the station wagon. He had another car. He brought him out there.
And
I think Luther Cherry brought him out there. You know, he was the janitor. He was one of the managers with Joe before I got to be the manager of the group. You know,
that's amazing.
He brought him up to my house, and we talked about the arrangement. And then Luther said, "Marshall, why don't you give us a hand in management?" I said, "Well, I'm doing it. What you want me to do?" I said, "Well, you know all the clubs in Chicago, all the Peyton Place and Beale Street, you know, all the owners there. Come on and manage a group with Joe, and me." So that's where we all started.
Well, now, Marshall, let me ask you this. Why did they come to your house? What were you doing because this had to be before you were at the Shy-Lights, right?
We were at Marshall and the Highlights, yeah.
Oh, okay. And so what Joe Jackson had heard your arrangements that
he had knew that we singing "I'm Your Man." He knew I was singing in the big theaters and stuff, you know, singing "I'm Your Man" with the Bobby Taylor song.
So Joe Jackson, so Joe Jackson knew music then. He wasn't just his father that was, you know, he knew music.
No, he with the Falcons, you know, the band group, man. The Falcons had Wilson Pickett in there. He had the great guys in the Falcons.
I love it. I love it. I've heard you tell this story before, man, and I love it, man, because I'm trying to like, you know, when we think about, we look at Michael Jackson and we look at where he went to and the Jackson 5 and all of that, and yet it all started, I'm sure, in Gary, Indiana, at 2300 Jackson Street. We all know that's where it started, but it really got fueled. It got its energy in Chicago, right? Because Joe was able to make with relationships he had, obviously, with being with the Falcons. He was able to talk to people.
It was hot. Yeah, Falcons was hot with "I'm Looking for Your Love." Remember? I'm looking for your love.
What did Joe Jackson do? Did he sing or what?
No, he was playing guitar.
Oh, that's right. So that's the whole Tito Jackson story. He was playing. Tito was playing his guitar. I get it.
Right.
What were your thoughts about? What were your first thoughts about Michael or the group?
Well, when I first heard Michael, man, I was at the house on 2300 Jackson Street up there. I heard him. I was in the room sitting down, and he was singing. I said, "This kid gonna be something," you know. I say, "Wow, he got a voice at his age like that, you know, spinning around like James Brown and all that. He's doing this thing, you know." And I say, "Man, I'm gonna try to help him out and put him in some clubs." So I end up putting him in the Beale Street, Peyton Place, places like that. And the police used to run us out of there because he was too young.
Where was Peyton's place? Where was that?
Peyton Place is on Halsted, 79th, something like that.
That is crazy.
79th Halsted.
It's just mind blowing when you think about it. And I've got a co-host in with me, Haley Vaughn. She's only 32 years old, man. But when you think about 79th and Halsted today, it's just mind blowing to think about little Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 were playing a club there.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I had to get him in there. It was Roy used to do it for me. You know, that was my friend, close friend. And I'd tell him, "Hey man, could I bring my little group in here? You know the police ain't gonna let them be in." So we used to go in there, and he say they used to get nickels and dimes on the floor. I used to have fun watching them playing. And people throwing the nickels and dimes. And when the police get ready to come, we go out the back door and run.
That is crazy, man. How old was Jackie? Was probably like, "Can I get a beer up in here? I'm 18, right now." No. All right, hold on, Marshall. Don't go anywhere. I'm taking a break, man. I'll be right back. The one and only Marshall Thompson from the south side of Chicago, the mighty Shy-Lights on WVON.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey, baby,
I'm your Magnolia Blues man, Sir Henry Cheatham, inviting you to join us on WVON 1690 for some real American music and culture. Here on Classic Blues and R&B. Check us out Saturday, 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. on WVON and Classic Blues and R&B.
Video gambling terminals aren't owned by us. They're owned by out-of-state corporations that have never invested in our neighborhoods or our families. They take the money, we take the hit. These machines kill union jobs and drain pension funds for first responders. When these machines move in, crime goes up, break-ins rise. Our community pays the price. We deserve good union jobs, safer streets, and real investments that stay here and build something lasting. Tell City Council, repeal video gambling terminals. Paid for by Neighborhoods Safety First Association.
Attention shoppers, after 65 years, Sid's Clothing and Hats is hanging up their hats, and you're invited to the retirement sale of a lifetime. Now through May 30th, everything in the store is on massive discount. That's every hat, every cap, and every accessory. It's our biggest sale ever, with prices you have to see to believe. Visit Sid's today at 609 West Roosevelt Road. While hats last and stock is moving fast, you'll find styles you love at prices you'll adore. Hurry in, retirement sale ends May 30th. Sid's Clothing and Hats, where style meets savings. One last time.
Hey, it's Cleopatra Draper. Join me for the Midday Show weekdays at 9 a.m. where we'll sip and spill all the tea. Do you want it hot or cold? Either way, we're serving up the flavor of the day. Weekdays at 9 a.m. right here on the station giving you what's now and what's next. 1690 WVON.
Hi, I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. I'd like to invite you to join me for the Borges Report for lively discussions about legal matters, politics, government, entertainment, and the topics that concern you in your life. Start your Sunday the Borges way with the Borges Report.
The Borges Report with Ernesto Borges, Sunday mornings at 9 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
There's some people up there holding everything. About the people's money and things. And if they're gonna
Okay, the mighty Shy Lights on WVON. Hey, Marshall.
Hey, buddy.
Who wrote this song, man?
Eugene record. We wrote that on the bus.
Eugene did, yeah. So this was a song really about the moment, obviously, that we were in, the country, Black Power, and everything that was going on, right?
Right. That's the one that got us off the ground, too.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's what got us starting to move. After Give It Away was was our first hit, to get us to Power Theater and places like that. But Power to the People went to our first gold record because we had it in the Panther movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Man, this song spoke to Black Power. I don't play that song enough, man. We need to play that. Don't play it too much because Marshall might want me to pay him for using the song, though, y'all.
You got to get the royalties in. That's what keeps us alive, man.
Are you still? Do you guys still get? Are you still getting? Because you're the last one, right? Do you guys still get royalties from songs, man?
I make sure everybody in my group, the original members, get their royalties with their family.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Haley,
each one of them get their royalties.
So look, Haley's in the studio with me. She's only 32 years. You know nothing about the Shy Lights, do you?
I know. No, not nothing, but little. Not nothing. Definitely not nothing. But
your mom does, though.
It's been passed along.
It's been passed along. That's right. Your mom. It's been passed along. Look, man, this group has some classic American songs. Yep. That's what I'm not even gonna call them R&B or black music or anything because the music was transcendent. And it transcended race, and the mighty Shy Lights live on, brother. They did it. They toured the world. They seen it all. Marshall, you still performing, brother?
Yes, still touring the world. Selling out crowds, 20,000 seaters in California area.
Mm-hmm. There you go, brother. Well, you got the songs, man. There's part of the soundtrack of our lives, man. And I just what was the Regal Theater like back in the day, man? When you know.
Well, the Regal was the place. That was the place we started working a lot in there. And one day after Jackson had won the challenge show down there, I was coming into the Regal Theater with Bobby Taylor and Vancouver's and the Vibrations and the Artistics. We was coming in, so I was managing the Michael Jackson and Jackson 5 at that time with Joe and Lucius Harry. So I asked Purvis Spann, I said, Purvis, can I bring in my group, my little group that I managed, the Jackson 5? He said, I don't know nothing about no Jackson 5. I said,
that sounds like
let me bring him. I say, let me bring them in here, bro. I said, let them come in there and do something. Because, you know, they came in and did the talent show earlier one time. He didn't pay no attention to that. But I brought him in, and it was history, man. When I brought them in 60, it was 1968.
Wow. And then so Bobby Taylor was the one that kind of pulled him into Motown. Was that what happened?
Well, what happened is, when Bobby Taylor was on the show with us, I was up in his dressing room. I'm up because I went up there to try to get Bobby Taylor to get me to Motown. So I was standing up there, and Minnie was talking. I said, Bobby, get us over there to Motown with you, man, because he was only in Motown. The act was on the show with us. So, and meanwhile, Michael and them was tearing the daggone stage up downstairs. The girls were screaming like crazy. He said, where's that making all that noise down there? I said, that's my group. That's me and Joe Jackson's group down there. He said, they call it Jackson 5. He said, many of them girls are going really wild. I said, so I ended up taking them downstairs. They introduced him to Joe. And once he got with Joe and talked about it, and he watched him on stage, then the next morning, I'm sleeping. I went on home sleeping. I wakes up. I get a call from Joe to see what's going on. He said, man, we're on our way to Motown.
Wow.
I said, Joe, what about me? Nobody to take me to Motown. What about me?
Oh, that is so funny. Right.
We cracked up, man. We cracked up. So I'm just glad I didn't go. I mean, at that time, I wanted to go because Motown was hot with all the top groups over there, Temptations and, Four Tops and Spinners and, the Donald Ross, everybody. So I'm glad we didn't go. We went to Brunswick. That was a better shot for us because we would have got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, you were.
We went to Motown. They wouldn't have been thinking about no satellite.
You know what, man? That's what's interesting, too, because I interviewed Eddie Levert, and Eddie he was telling me how they got lost in the shuffle with Motown. Now, who would think that about the OJs? As bad as
at the time they had. See, what happened is the artist that Motown had at first was the hottest thing since bubblegum. So I mean, we was coming in there trying. Ed and the Verdant was on tour with me. We went out there with Eddie James trying to get us a gig in California, get on to work. So we had to scuff up and down the street, and Eddie James brought us in there and gave us $15 a piece. To try to make ourselves work, and it worked for us. But it was just our time. It was our time.
Yeah, it was.
And their time was their time. That's
it was. What do people misunderstand about Joe Jackson?
Well, they don't know Joe Jackson. Nobody know Joe Jackson like me because I was with Joe Jackson just about every day. And I've been with Joe Jackson for 59 years until he died. So I know things that people won't not know about Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson was a super good person, okay? And then all this hype about what he used to do, beat somebody, no, that's not true. That's just talk and hype, okay? And somebody wants you to have whoopings, why don't you ask my grandmama?
I know that's right.
My grandmama used to tell me when I do something bad, go out there and get one of the switches off that tree and bring it back. Hey, man, and it better be big.
You know how traumatizing for you to go and pick the switch that you're about to get spanked with, right?
That's right.
What kind of trauma am I going through, Grandma? What is happening there?
Yeah, you better believe it, buddy. I better have the right size switch too, because she gonna go out there and get her own.
Right, she gonna pick it right. You better. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Right on.
Ooh, that is funny.
When they changed the game, that's what started all the mess, and it created a lot of problems with people too, because it made people free. The kids thought they could do anything they want. Then you can't do nothing to me because you can't whip me. I'm gonna call the police.
Right. Today, that's what I'm gonna call DCFS on you. Right, that's what these kids say today.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man,
I'm gonna
that is crazy.
All that. So we listened to it. I seen the whole thing, man. I seen
That
how
is
it went
hilarious,
down
brother.
But, idea. But it was history for the Jacksons, because once Bobby Taylor took him to Motown, he did the first 6 hits that they had. Once back and all that, ABC and all that. He did a great job. But the story got back different. And I'm kind of glad, because they would have made it with Bobby Taylor talking. He made the hits for him, but Donna Ross had the name.
Yeah.
So,
no, Bob, look. Let me tell you this. At the end of the day, you did your part. Bobby Taylor did his part. Gladys Knight, whatever, did their part. Joe Jackson did his part, because it worked.
That's right.
They made
it.
They made it, brother. I remember seeing you and Joe together, man. I'm trying to think where it was.
Everywhere.
I know, right? I saw y'all together before he passed away, man. And y'all and seeing y'all together was so interesting, man, because it was straight Chicago South Side style, man. You and Joe were dressed alike. I was like, look at these two old school players, man.
See, we was on every television station together. We was on CNN. We was everywhere.
I'm glad y'all, maintained the friendship even after Michael passed away. And I know how devastating that was to the Jackson family. But, brother, you've been amazing, man. All right, I'm going to have you back on, because I know you got something coming up in a couple of weeks. So let's talk and make sure we get you back on.
All right. There's no problem. It's my pleasure.
Always. The one and only Marshall Thompson, everybody from the Chi-Lites. Our legend right here in Chicago. All right. Haley, thank you for coming by today. I know I told Haley to come by. I was going to just show her around the station so that she could, because she's in broadcast journalism and all of that. I just say, hey, just come on by. I'm going to walk you around so you can see the station. And then, of course, I throw her on the air. I told her that was going to be a possibility, but I wanted to throw her on the air anyway, just so she could get the real experience. Right. That's what happened to me, y'all. That's how I kind of got in. That's how I got in the radio. Boom. All of a sudden, I was like on. Just got thrown in there. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm on there. Okay. All right, let's do it. Anyway, but good Thank stuff.
You, Matt. Yeah.
Tell your mom I said hi, and
I will.
I love her to pieces, and absolutely amazing. All right, Lexi and Logan coming up next. Let's see what's on their mind this week when we return. First, Logan's got news coming up right now.
Hope you're having a fantastic Friday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's what's happening in your local and national news. The killing of a Chicago police officer has brought renewed criticism of Illinois' Safety Act, especially its pretrial release rules. Republicans argue the law allowed a repeat violent offender to be out of jail, while Democrats say judges, not the law, made the release decision. Governor J.B. Pritzker also said the judge should have detained the suspect, who had a serious criminal history and was on electronic monitoring. The incident has sparked new calls for GOP leaders to tighten or revise pretrial detention and monitoring rules. In other news, an Illinois Senate committee approved a bill to limit tracking of prescriptions tied to transgender and abortion care. The measure would remove testosterone from the state database and prevent drugs like estrogen and abortion medications from being added. Supporters say it protects patients and providers from out-of-state legal risks and strengthens existing healthcare shield laws. In other news, Donald Trump says the government has delivered a final bailout proposal to Spirit Airlines as it faces possible shutdown. Reports indicate the airline could cease operations as soon as this weekend without financial support. Trump said the administration is pushing a tough deal and will only proceed if terms are favorable. Spirit Airlines is seeking about $500 million to stay afloat. And they are booming in 2026, especially with pet owners tired of vacuuming twice a day. Monica Nelson has a consumer product that has fallen in price but jumped in productivity.
New consumer data shows the global robot vacuum market continues to grow quickly, with more households buying them for daily hands-free cleaning. And they're especially popular for pet owners. Prices are finally reasonable too, with most popular models costing $200 to $500, and they clean daily, empty themselves, and never complain. Experts say they are definitely worth it for pet hair, because sometimes your dog sheds like it's a full-time job, and your cat, HR has confirmed they are not helping. I'm Monica Nelson.
I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
It's DL Hughley.
Nick Cannon's logic is as weak as his Everybody fucking knew that Republicans freed the slaves. Everybody knew it. The last time he did something for black people was 163 years ago. You got to update your resume. Have a 5-year gap on your resume and see if it's valid. When Republicans did that, Hawaii wasn't a state. If you're going to talk about the greatest of a policy that helped black people out, it should at least be sometime after the fucking moon landing.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Drummer composer Mike Reed explores the legacy of Chicago bassist Fred Hopkins with new works on May 1st at Symphony Center, performed by a powerhouse ensemble of fellow Chicago improvisers. The program reflects Hopkins' deep influence on avant-garde jazz. Saxophonist Jeff Bradfield and talented high school jazz musicians opened the concert with a selection of music composed by Reed. More at cso.org/jazz. That's cso.org/jazz. This Saturday on Meeting the Moment, we're talking first response communications and why what happens inside your organization matters just as much as what you say to the public. Dr. Twin Green, President and CEO of the Lincoln Option Center, and Perry Ermer, President and CEO of the DuSable Black History Museum and Education Center, joined the conversation to break down how internal alignment shapes external messaging in critical moments. Tune in this Saturday at 12 noon for Meeting the Moment, powered by the Chicago Community Trust, right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's clear that kidney disease is taking its toll on us by the number of dialysis centers in our neighborhoods. If you have kidney disease, know your treatment options and the benefits of home dialysis and transplantation. Visit blackcare.com. That's BLACKKARE.com. This health and wellness message is brought to you by the South Suburban Chicago chapter of the Links Incorporated and powered by Vantive. Consider giving the gift of life by becoming a donor today.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over 400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got 10 million, Broadview 6 million, Burnham 3 million, South Holland 17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Down to 3, down to 2, down to 1.
Yes! Tune in Friday, 9 to midnight for The Fundamentals, where I, Titus T. Del Williams, bring the mental.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
And I, DJ Turbine Arturo Garza, bring the fun.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
So if you want some wacky,
some good conversation,
but some fun,
and a little serious,
for all your sports needs, tune in to The Fundamentals.
Friday nights, 9 to midnight. We'll see you there.
You like that? You like that?
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's a feeling I won't forget. When you're with me, my head still spins. Oh, you're the moment I won't forget.
All right. Look at Lexi dancing over here. Logan, can Lexi dance?
Yes.
Like when she does her show?
She has moves.
Like when
moves like Jagger. Period.
Like who?
Jagger.
Like when you see her show though, I mean, is she
Oh, I don't dance at my shows.
You know?
No, I'll be like a little grooving. Yeah.
All right, what about when y'all go clubbing though? when y'all was in the Sprinter.
Do you
Tell
wanna
me
see
about
it?
that. Tell
Logan
me about
and
that
I
night.
actually have dance battles in the club.
Tell me about that night. Oh, Lord, have mercy. If you missed previous episodes, on Logan's birthday weekend, they jumped in a Sprinter and
We
painted
did.
the town red.
We did purple, actually.
Purple.
Lavender.
Lavender. It was Logan's birthday, and they got a Sprinter.
We did.
And
I'll
when-
show you the video.
No, the video.
The video is diabolical, actually.
You see, so now our listeners want to see the video.
They should.
Now, so where can they access the video? See, I tell you, if y'all do this right, we're gonna get y'all views.
Right. Well,
views
you know, you
and
got to
followers.
follow us on Instagram. You got to
Yeah,
tap
there you
in
go.
with us.
Yes.
Right.
I keep telling Logan, I'm gonna manage your OnlyFans page, and everybody's like, no, that's not appropriate,
Wait,
Matt.
yeah, Matt.
I'm like, that's wrong. I'm
We
like,
told you to stop saying that. We've already talked about this.
that's not appropriate. Am I off there?
You were a little off with that one.
Yeah, Grandpa's off with that.
Yeah. Grandpa needs to be arrested.
Oh, damn. Oh, I told y'all what I thought. I just thought it was like, hey, I thought it was like Substack or something, right?
No. But shout out to Substack. I
So
feel
tell everybody what Substack is.
So Substack is a platform that you can essentially do whatever on,
Mhm.
but it's been used for a lot of dialogue, great conversation. Anything that you feel like won't perform well on traditional social media, it kind of eliminates those norms. So you could have articles written, you could do a book review, you could drop a hair care routine, you could post lyrics, music, pictures. It's kind of everything in one.
Really?
But people will post like vintage eBay bag links on Substack and then do like reviews on them, or they'll be like, I did a book review on The Prince and Me.
So I'm confused. You can't do that on other social media.
You can, but I think each social media platform is catered to a specific type of content that performs well.
And
Whereas-
it's for like whatever is best for you. So if you make the most money off of Instagram, great. You might make more money off of Substack.
Right.
Great. Maybe you make more money off of Twitch. Like it just
What,
depends.
What about Lee Williams says Discord? What's Discord?
Yeah, Discord is like Twitch. It's like you can go on there. We could do this on Discord.
Mhm.
We could have put Logan's birthday weekend on Discord. We could do marathon training
Is
on
it too-
Discord. Like
is it-
anything you want.
Is it too late to put Logan's birthday on Discord?
It's a little
It-
old news.
Oh, damn, that
it's-
quick?
I mean, I had this argument with my dad last night. I was like, it's still my birthday because it's April. He's like, no, it's not.
Uh-huh.
Da, 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 da. But I'm
Your
like,
dad's old school. He knows that your birthday is your day.
the
That's
birthday
it.
month.
All
The
right, that's
whole
not-
month.
No, that's some. See, y'all created that, right?
And that's okay.
No, I'm gonna tell you exactly. I'm gonna tell you exactly.
I don't have a problem with that.
Black women created the birthday month thing.
Well, I
don't think any
I think
other
we
group-
deserve it because we get a lot of trials and tribulations in this life.
Really?
So let us get 1 month.
I'll get the whole month. What about when it's like more than one of y'all in the same month? I feel sorry for the father that's got a wife and a daughter in the same month.
Oh,
yeah.
You have a couple months to save up. and
Right.
Have you
plan
budget
for that.
correctly?
Have you guys ever met like some people where they have the same birthday as their parent?
Nope.
Man, it is you would be surprised.
Low-key, no.
Y'all never
No.
I know a father
can recall,
or knew a father and son, senior and junior, same birthday. Same day. Y'all have never had that experience before?
No,
No.
I'm so happy. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Me
There
and
are
my
peop-
mom are exactly 1 month apart, but
Mhm.
that's it.
When is your birthday?
I'm 15th October. She's 15th September. So we're both the 15th and we're a month apart.
See, my family, my family's like that a lot. A
Mhm.
lot of my family are birthdays fall on the 16th.
Okay.
I mean, not like 1 month apart
Right.
necessarily.
But you got a lot of 16s in there.
I'm August 16th. I have
Uh-oh.
October 16th.
You're a Leo?
Yeah,
It's all
come
making
on now.
sense.
Come on now. You know what?
It's
you
all
already-
Leos and
Come on.
Libras get along well.
You know what time it is, girl. As soon as you met me, you was like, he's a Leo. You know what's up.
Wait, I want to know what the numerology 16, spiritual awakening, profound personal transformation, and humbling of the ego.
Ooh, it's a karmic debt number. Do you feel like that resonates with you?
I don't know. Does that sound like me?
No comment.
Often signals past life misuse of power or excessive ego. What?
My ego's in check. That is funny,
Perfect.
though.
We
I'm trying to
love
think
it,
all the
Matt.
six. My father was on the 16th. My aunt was on the 16th. My brother is on the 16th.
Ooh.
My grandmother is on the 16th.
You got a
Is that
dynasty.
unusual? That's kind of my cousin. My 97-year-old cousin who you guys hear me talk about.
Yes.
16. This is weird, man.
You got to keep it going.
I know, right? Do people believe in numerology, right? There's some people that believe like the number 7 means this and 3s mean this and all that stuff. Like
I think when you see a
some-
number popping up multiple times, it definitely is a sign.
Yes.
Why do I keep
Some
seeing this
hocus
number for
pocus.
years on end?
I think it's hocus pocus when the Western culture did it, but there's a lot of like Vedic culture and like Southeast Asian culture and things that understand numerology different to like the colonizers. So
I love that. The colonizers. I love that. Do you guys use that term often? The colonizers. You know we live in
I do.
the United States of colonizers.
Especially when I was in London, I was like, I'm in the land of OG colonizers.
Is that ooh,
Mhm.
ooh, there you go,
The
Lexi.
OG ones.
Ooh, for real, for real. For real, for real.
Hey, yeah, they're a little crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
For real. What did I just say? Did you guys see Prince Charles? King Charles was in America.
Okay.
Did you guys see all of that? The
Mm.
pomp and circumstance.
I'm not a big fan.
Well, I mean, did you see it, Logan?
I had a report on it.
You had to report on it, right?
What was he
But
doing here?
Schmoozing.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing. The answer is nothing.
Schmoozing.
They said that he came in town too to see the anniversary of
What? Schmoozing.
Winnie the Pooh.
Well, yeah, he came in
Exactly. I just want to say.
Wait, hold on, back up. What did she just say?
He was here for some silly stuff, essentially. Silly things.
Logan said Winnie the Pooh.
For some, but you know what? I was living in London when the Queen
Christopher
died.
Robin.
And I can just say that no one was, long live the Queen, but he could go too.
So wait, so when you were living,
King
did you live in London?
I was in London when I woke up and they said the Queen is dead.
Ooh.
And me and my friends went to
Oh well.
no one should have. I don't wish death on anyone, but she didn't have the monarchy. They don't have the best rep. She don't have the best reputation. There's a lot of kids.
But see, here's the thing, though. She was born into it, right? So I mean, now
does that justify it, Matt?
Well, no. I mean, but here's the question. This is great. I love this conversation. I love this stuff. Here's the question: could she have changed the monarchy? I guess that's a question that we can talk about and debate. What she couldn't change was the legacy, the history of the monarchy.
Of course.
That's not good, right?
Yeah, you can't.
So we know pre Queen Elizabeth, the monarchy
was even worse.
Because really, when she got into the mix, they had no political power, right?
They still don't.
Right.
I want to.
That's what I'm saying. They don't. So that changed in. When did the actual political power of the monarchy change? In the 1800s? I mean, I think King Charles was talking about it. Actually, I think the Magna Carta kind of changed a lot of that for the monarchy in England, right?
Right, so that they could, so they just exist and like they counsel with the politicians, but they actually don't have any like.
So we're talking about 1700s now.
When
right?
they did have hearsay.
I'm trying to think because the Magna Carta had to be 1700s or something like that, 16 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not good with numbers.
So then that means prior to that. So we're talking about really the diabolical part of the monarchy was happening really way before then, for the most part, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It said Magna Carta foundational
1215.
Damn, look how off I was. I
That's
said,
okay.
all right, damn.
That's okay. It was way long time ago.
All right. Okay.
They did. But you know what? I will say this to answer that question. She can't change the monarchy. She couldn't have. And may she rest in peace. I want to preface by saying that. But she also could have been a better person. I think she could have exhibited a little more humanity in her actions and her daily life choices and the foundation she decided to invest in, how she treated Princess Diana.
And
There's
the
a, you
legacy
know,
she left behind before she passed. too.
right.
The legacy she was going to leave.
Yeah,
before she
well,
passed.
the Princess Diana stuff definitely did not do her any good.
Justice.
Right?
The kids in Kenya that went missing.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? There was a lot of things. I'm just.
My name is Queen Elizabeth, and this weekend I am going to see Lexi perform. Young lady. And see, because she did not say that, Lexi is like,
whatever.
Lexi's coming out with a new track, and I, the Queen Mother of England, will be in attendance at her show on Saturday.
I don't think she would have liked my music.
You'd be surprised.
Right.
Queen is turning on some Lexi and what's that dance you were just doing? All right, what are we gonna talk about when we come back?
Oh, we got something. Can we talk about like parasocial relationships?
Yeah. Talk about what?
Parasocial relationships. Parasocial. When people, strangers, feel like they know and love these celebrities and get obsessed with them.
All right, cool. We'll
You
talk about
know?
that. All right, set it up. So are we talking about anything in particular?
We have some particular things. Keke Palmer got proposed to, and the fan was convinced that she was going to say yes, and it was really a scary situation.
That's the tease. We'll talk about that when we return with Logan and Lexi on the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
At WVON, we believe your health is your wealth. That's why in May and June, we're putting wellness front and center because too many of us are putting ourselves last. From heart health to mental wellness, prevention to daily habits, it all counts. In May and June, we'll be sharing important information to help you live healthier lives. Because your health is more than personal, it's powerful. Join WVON in our commitment to stronger bodies, clearer minds, and a healthier community.
If you are a healthcare provider or have your own practice and want to reach tens of thousands of WVON motivated listeners, connect with us at info@WVON.com or call 773-247-6200 to invest in an outreach campaign during our health and wellness initiative. Let's do it together.
I've tried everything to stand out at work. Donuts, a company coffee blend, even dressed as the company mascot for Halloween.
There's an easier way, a ComEd facility assessment. Their engineer gave my company free insights and actions that saved us $732,000 on energy. Easy, right?
Learn how ComEd can help you save at ComEd.com/facility assessment. ComEd, powering lives. Savings will vary based on customers' usage and rate.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Bond TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Bond TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I really like this song, Lexi. I really do. Man.
It's a sample. It's a flip of You Are One in a Million, Aaliyah. You are in a million. It's the drum beat. It goes on. Yep. Yep.
You do such a good job on this song.
Thank you. Thank you.
Producer did a good job too.
Producer did a great shout out to him, Trey B out of Atlanta. We went to Berkeley College of Music together. That's my dog. Yeah.
See, that's what collaboration is all about, right?
Yeah.
Relationships matter.
They do.
Proximity matters. Did you record this in Chicago? Or you went down to Atlanta?
Actually, I recorded this in London in my house.
Oh wow. Really?
Yeah.
We're in the closet or something?
We were in the living room.
In the bathroom. All right. Even more respect to your producer, right? Way to kill it, brother. All right, Logan and Lexi in the studio. What are we talking about?
We lots of parasocial relationships going on.
Tell me about one. Explain all of that to me. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, a parasocial relationship essentially is when someone believes that they know someone they've never met. Mm-hmm. So, for example, if you had like a viewer on WVON who was like utterly obsessed with you, Matt, and like one day showed up and was like, I'm here because I know we're getting married. Like, I know you want me. And you're like, I've never met you, but they know everything about you because you're in the public eye and they think they know you and you're in the media and things of that nature.
And I'm like, calm down, ma'am. Calm down.
Right.
I don't know you.
Right.
I don't know you. Turn around for me. Okay, I do love you. You're right. I do love you. I'm playing.
Wait, who's behind us?
Lexi, come on, Matt. You know you want me, ma'am. I've never met you before.
Exactly.
Do a pirouette for me. You're right. I do love you. Is that terrible?
It's okay. I mean,
I'm being bad.
No, I think you're making jokes out. I mean,
I am making
jokes. It's good to laugh.
Right. But no, you're serious about this though, because you're talking about, you just gave an example.
Yeah. Well, so me and Logan were having a yap. I don't know if you want to talk about like Meg and all that going on, but
Megan Thee Stallion and
Clay, right?
What happened with them?
People believing that like they know what's going on and that like they're entitled to this information.
And I always feel bad too when they bring it to like death threats and stuff too.
So Megan Thee Stallion and Clay, NBA basketball player Klay Thompson broke up.
Yeah.
How long were they? It didn't seem like they were going together that long though.
But they were going strong.
I think everybody really enjoyed watching them out together and felt like
I think like black love in the media.
Yeah, you know what I think too though. I think Fred Johnson says, Lexi, that's called a stalker.
Yes, Fred. Wait, okay, but one step deeper. Okay, someone can stalk you, right? But the element of a stalker that I think parasocial relationships takes it one step further is that they like believe that you also feel the same way that they do, that like there's no way you can say no. Like a stalker is interested and intrigued by you, but like a stalker might be okay with you not wanting them because they're okay with stalking you. Right. Where like the parasocial gets intricate because they have a hard time not understanding why they don't want you.
They think we got a thing going on.
Exactly. Right.
Wait a minute. You know what? I'm not kidding, man. So we were talking about Michael Jackson earlier. When I was living in LA, I met this girl and her, you know, she was cool. And this was right when Thriller came out. And she swore up and down she had met Michael Jackson, right? Which she said she had met him somewhere. Mm-hmm. She swore up and down that the song PYT was about her.
Okay. And see, she was probably for real.
She was damn for real.
Right.
I'm not kidding you, man.
Right.
And she was cool. She was cool, you know, like I was living in LA. She was from Chicago. And, you know, so I was feeling, you know, the whole vibe with her. Like, yo. In fact, we met in the airport going out to LA. We were on the same flight together going out to LA. And that's how I met her. When we got out to LA, we connected. I pulled up on her and pull up. And then, you know, we were playing the album and she was like, listen, he's singing about me.
See, now that's weird. Because she probably would say that to him.
But then she played like she's like, listen, he's saying my name, right? And then no, wait a minute. Check this out though, guys. So you got to realize, you know, we're talking about an album. This is back before CDs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, either I had the album or I had the cassette, and I kept playing it over and over again. And it did sound like he was saying her name. So now I'm freaking out. So now I'm like, I'm facilitating this. Right. I'm like, girl, wait. I'm like, he's singing about you. This is about you.
You was gonna help her propose.
Right. I'm like, what are we gonna do about this? We gotta go.
Right, you're part of the problem, Matt.
Tell Michael to put a ring on it.
Exactly.
This is before Beyonce said that.
Right. So scary.
Oh Lord. But you know what I loved about Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson's relationship was that nobody would have put them two together. Right? Nobody would have been like, yeah, you know what? Megan's gonna go for Klay Thompson. Right? I think everybody thought Klay, light skin, kind of straight laced, looks like a little bit of not really a nerd.
He gives a shy guy vibe.
Right,
Quiet guy.
Right.
Quiet guy, loud girlfriend vibes.
Megan, you ain't got no problem. She's very, audacious and personable and out there.
That girl.
She turns around on stage and claps that ass. You would not put her with Klay Thompson, right? And I think we were enjoying the fact that they were seeming like they were having the time of their life together.
Right. Yeah. It's true, but then people are tore up over it.
And I just feel bad because from the outside looking in, it's just, you pour your all into a relationship and then it just doesn't work out.
What do you feel bad for? Do we know why they broke up? Damn it, we only got a minute left.
Apparently there's a cheating scandal. Apparently one of Klay Thompson's ex-girlfriends exposed one of his sex journals. And he journals about all of his different sexual experiences, all alleged. But there's journal entries of him talking about, I don't know what to do with all this fame and money. All these girls come my way. I just got some crazy head. I just had the best back shots of my life. This and a third.
Right.
So this was pre-Megan. Then the cheating allegations came, and then someone was like, I believe this because here's a cheating journal that I found when I was speaking to him X amount of years ago. So that would imply consistent behavior.
Real quick, what do you guys feel about that? What's your read on this, Logan?
That's invasion of privacy, obviously. She shouldn't have done that. But at the end of the day, I feel like Megan, she kind of, she's cooking for the family and everything. It's just sad if he actually did cheat on her. That's very distasteful.
Lexi, your read on it real quick.
Yeah, I think what makes it difficult is how we idolize these celebrity relationships. I don't think what happened to them is specific. Things like that happen all the time. But I think it's difficult to digest when we idolize situations of Black love and then it hits harder. Cheating should not be a thing no matter what, but it sucks that people who look up to Megan Thee Stallion now are getting normalized with this idea that men will cheat or women cheat or right, no matter what you do, what you look like, how successful you are. So it's sad.
To be continued. Logan and Lexi, love it. Goes quick. Share the video. Everybody, Fred, everybody, Lee, give me a share right now. I've been negligent on my shares. Love you guys. Love everybody to peace. Don't go anywhere. Ken Duncan's in the house and he's coming up next.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Happy Friday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Former Bears receiver Chase Claypool tries career reboot with the Packers. Rally and march set for today observing May Day. Oscars update rules for 99th ceremony. And May protests underway. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, WVON 1690 AM, Berwyn, Chicago.
Here's PIN News Now. The Florida House has approved a new mid-decade congressional map that cuts Democratic-leaning districts from 8 to 4. Black House Minority Leader Fentrice Driscoll.
For communities in Central Florida and South Florida, their voice is being diminished and they are losing representation.
Democrats call it illegal gerrymandering. A Supreme Court ruling could reshape voting ahead of the midterms. Justices struck down a Louisiana map with a second majority Black district. Former President Barack Obama says the decision weakens the Voting Rights Act, while former VP Kamala Harris called it